Your words have power. The words you speak have the ability to build or destroy, to bring life or to bring death. Many people have ruined their own destiny simply because they could not control their tongue. They spoke too soon, they revealed too much, and they allowed their emotions to dictate their speech. There are seasons in life where silence is your greatest weapon. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every plan needs to be shared. And not every battle needs your voice. Some victories are won in silence. Some breakthroughs come when you learn to restrain your words. There are times when the best response is no response at all. The enemy is always listening. He cannot read your mind, but he can hear your words. And when you carelessly reveal your struggles, your plans, your weaknesses, you are giving him a weapon to use against you. There are people in your life who smile in your face, but secretly hope for your failure. The moment you open your mouth and share what is sacred, they begin to plot against you. This is why wisdom teaches you to speak only what is necessary. Many people destroy their opportunities because they cannot control their tongue. They reveal their next move before it is time. They expose their vision to people who were never meant to see it. There are things God has placed in your heart that are not meant for public discussion. There are dreams that must be protected until the right season. Speaking too soon can abort what was meant to grow. Even in conflict, silence can be your greatest defense. Not every accusation requires a response. Not every insult needs a reply. Sometimes your silence speaks louder than any argument you could ever make. There is wisdom in holding your peace when others expect you to fight. There is strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet. Your words should be few but full of impact. Speak with intention, not just to be heard. Speak with purpose, not just to fill the silence. There is power in knowing when to be silent, because the person who can control their mouth can control their future. If you want to walk in wisdom, learn to zip your mouth. The words you speak are not just sounds. They carry energy, they shape realities, and they determine outcomes. Everything around you responds to words. Nations rise and fall because of words. Relationships are built or destroyed by words. A single sentence can open doors and another can close them forever. The most powerful forces on earth are not physical, they are spoken. Think about the times in your life when a single statement changed everything. Someone's encouragement lifted you while another person's harsh words left wounds that lasted for years. Words shape identity. A child who is constantly told they are worthless begins to believe it. A person who is reminded of their greatness starts walking in confidence. What you speak over yourself determines the direction of your life. Many people blame circumstances for their failures, not realizing they have spoken their own downfall. They declare their limitations, they complain about their struggles, and they unknowingly give life to the very things they fear. What you continuously say becomes the environment in which you live. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot speak doubt and expect faith. You cannot declare weakness and expect strength. There are moments when what you say in private determines what happens in public. What you whisper in frustration can manifest in reality. Every word you release is a seed planted in your future. The question is, what kind of harvest do you want? If you want success, speak life. If you want peace, speak wisdom. If you want favor, speak gratitude. Some people sabotage themselves without realizing it. They say things like, I'll never make it. Nothing good ever happens to me. Or I always fail. And then they wonder why they keep facing the same struggles. Your words are either working for you or against you. They are opening doors or shutting them. They are building you up or tearing you down. The power is in your mouth. There are moments in life when silence is not weakness, but wisdom. The instinct to respond, to defend, to explain can be strong, but not every situation requires your words. There are battles that are lost because someone spoke when they should have remained quiet. There are victories that were won simply because someone refused to engage in unnecessary conflict. Silence can be a weapon more powerful than any argument, more effective than any explanation. When emotions run high, words become dangerous. In anger, people say things they cannot take back. In frustration, they reveal things they should have kept hidden. In desperation, they speak against their own destiny. The ability to remain silent in critical moments is a sign of self-mastery. It is easy to lash out, to retaliate, to fight back with words, but it takes wisdom to hold your peace and let the situation unfold on its own. The world expects noise. It expects a reaction. When you refuse to engage, you confuse those who seek to provoke you. People will test you, push you, try to get a response just to see if they can control you. But silence is power. It frustrates those who expect you to explain yourself. It disarms those who are looking for an argument. It shifts control back into your hands. Opportunities have been lost because someone spoke when they should have listened. Deals have been ruined because someone revealed too much. Even relationships have been broken because words were spoken in haste. Not everything needs to be said. Not every feeling needs to be expressed. Not every question needs an answer. Silence can protect your peace, your reputation, and your future. There are times when your silence speaks louder than any words you could say. It forces others to think. It exposes the intentions of those around you. It allows truth to surface on its own. When you learn to use silence wisely, you will win battles without even fighting. The enemy does not need to know your thoughts. He only needs to hear your words. He waits for you to reveal your frustrations, your weaknesses, your fears, and then he uses them against you. He cannot read your mind, but he listens closely to what you say. Every careless word you speak gives him an opportunity to plant doubt, to create obstacles, to turn your own words into weapons against you. Many people sabotage their own blessings because they talk too much. They reveal their struggles to people who have no intention of helping them. They announce their plans before they are fully formed. They share their dreams with those who secretly hope they fail. Not everyone who listens to you is on your side. Some people are gathering information, waiting for the right moment to use it against you. The enemy works through people, and the wrong word spoken to the wrong person can delay or even destroy what was meant for you. There is a reason why wisdom teaches restraint. If the enemy knows what makes you angry, he will keep sending situations to provoke you. If he knows your fears, he will keep using them to hold you back. If he knows your desires, he will send distractions disguised as opportunities. He does not need to attack you directly. He only needs to let your own words set the trap. Your speech is a door, and every word you speak is either opening that door to favor or to destruction. When you complain, you invite more problems. When you speak doubt, you weaken your faith. When you tell the wrong people about your struggles, you give them power over you. Some things should be kept between you and God. Some battles are fought in silence. Some victories come when you refuse to reveal your next move. Be mindful of what you say because the enemy is always listening. Not every conversation is harmless. Not every listener is a friend. There are words that can build, and there are words that can betray. Sometimes the best strategy is not to fight harder, but to speak less. There are people in your life who smile in your face, but secretly celebrate your struggles. They act like supporters, But in reality, they are observers, waiting, watching, and hoping for your downfall. Not everyone who claps for you is cheering for you. Some are only close enough to gather information, to learn your weaknesses, and to use your own words against you when the time is right. One of the greatest mistakes you can make is assuming that everyone around you has pure intentions. Some people only connect with you to study you. They listen not to understand, but to manipulate. They ask questions not because they care, but because they want to know how to move against you. The wrong words spoken to the wrong person can shift your entire destiny. You think you are sharing your dreams with a friend, but in reality, you are giving ammunition to an enemy. People reveal their true colors when they no longer need you. Some will be patient, pretending to be allies, only to show their real nature when the opportunity arises. They tolerate you as long as they can gain something, but the moment you outgrow them, succeed beyond them, or stop benefiting them, their hidden resentment rises to the surface. This is why you must guard your words and be selective about who has access to your thoughts. Some betrayals would never happen if silence had been used instead of speech. Some setbacks could have been avoided if private matters had remained private. Your plans, your struggles, your victories, these are not for public display. Some things must remain between you and God. The moment you announce your intentions to the wrong person, you invite interference. There are people who would pretend to support you while secretly working to block you. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to share every detail of your life. There is strength in moving in silence, wisdom in keeping your vision hidden, and protection in withholding your words. The fewer people who know your next move, the fewer people who can sabotage it. Speaking too soon can cost you opportunities you didn't even realize were within your reach. There are moments in life when silence is not just wisdom, it is strategy. Timing is everything, and even the right words spoken at the wrong time can lead to disaster. Some people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they reveal too much too early. They speak before their vision is fully formed, before their strength is secured, before their foundation is unshakable. There are things in life that need time to grow in the dark before they are exposed to the light. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted. They go through a process hidden beneath the soil, developing roots before they break the surface. But many people rush to announce what should still be in the growing phase. They declare their plans before they are ready. They expose their dreams before they are protected. And in doing so, they invite opposition that could have been avoided. The moment you speak, you give others the chance to interfere. Some people will discourage you out of jealousy. Others will try to delay you out of fear. Some will smile to your face while quietly hoping you fail. But if they never know your next move, they cannot stop it. There are battles you will never have to fight simply because you kept your mouth shut. There are dreams that will come to pass because you refuse to let the wrong people know about them. Not every opportunity requires a response. Not every conversation needs your input. Sometimes the greatest strength is knowing when to remain silent. Just because you have something to say does not mean it is the right time to say it. There is a difference between speaking in wisdom and speaking in haste. One builds your future, while the other exposes you to unnecessary battles. The key to success is not just having the right words, but knowing the right moment to speak them. Silence can protect what words would destroy. There are blessings in your life that require secrecy, victories that demand discretion, and breakthroughs that must be hidden until the right time. When you speak too soon, you invite interference. You give access to people who were never meant to be part of your process. Some battles are lost not because of external attacks, but because of careless words spoken at the wrong time. The greatest threats to your success are not always obvious. Sometimes they come disguised as friends, family, or even well-meaning supporters. But not everyone who listens to you is for you. Some are only gathering information, waiting for the right moment to use it against you. They celebrate you in public, but question you in private. They pretend to support you while secretly doubting your ability to succeed. And the moment you share your plans with them, they plant seeds of doubt, discouragement, and fear. The most valuable things in life require protection. A treasure is not left exposed. It is hidden, secured, and guarded. The same principle applies to your vision, your goals, and your future. If you expose them too soon, you risk losing them. Some doors will close because you spoke too early. Some dreams will face unnecessary opposition because you revealed them before they were strong enough to stand. Not every battle in life is about fighting. Some victories come through wisdom, and wisdom knows when to speak and when to be silent. There are things in your life that need time to develop before they are shared. Every great plan has a season of silence, a time when it is nurtured in private before it is revealed in public. When you understand this, you will no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. You will no longer be pressured to announce your every move. You will learn that sometimes the best way to protect your future is to keep your mouth closed and let your results speak for themselves. The power of words is undeniable. They can build or destroy, open doors or close them, bring favor or invite trouble. But what many fail to realize is that not every truth must be spoken aloud. Just because you know something does not mean it needs to be shared. Wisdom is not just in knowing what to say, but in discerning what to withhold. A person who speaks without restraint is like a city without walls, vulnerable, exposed, and easily overtaken. There are moments when silence is not just golden, it is life-saving. There are people who have lost friendships, careers, and opportunities simply because they could not control their tongue. They revealed too much too soon. They spoke out of anger, frustration, or excitement, only to regret it later. Once words leave your mouth, they cannot be taken back. And the consequences of reckless speech often last far longer than the moment of speaking them. People who cannot control their tongue often find themselves entangled in unnecessary conflicts. They say things in the heat of the moment, not realizing the weight of their words. They speak out of frustration and later wonder why doors are closing. They reveal personal struggles to those who will use them as weapons. The inability to remain silent at the right time has caused more damage than many external enemies ever could. But silence is a strength. It allows you to observe without being observed. It gives you control over what others know and what they don't. It protects you from unnecessary battles and keeps your vision shielded from those who do not need access to it. There is a wisdom in restraint that many fail to practice. And because of that, they suffer setbacks that could have been avoided. The ability to control your tongue is not just a skill, it is a shield, a weapon, and a key to walking in wisdom. There are words that, once spoken, can never be retrieved. They travel faster than you imagine, spreading further than you intended, and causing consequences you never expected. A careless sentence can turn into a wildfire, burning relationships, ruining opportunities, and exposing you to unnecessary battles. The problem is that many people do not realize the damage their words have caused until it is too late. They speak freely, thinking they are merely expressing themselves, unaware that their own tongue is setting traps for them. Some of the greatest downfalls in history were not caused by external enemies, but by misplaced words. A person can be gifted, intelligent, and full of potential, but if they lack the discipline to control their mouth, they will sabotage their own success. Many people talk themselves out of opportunities. They reveal their plans to those who work against them. They speak their weaknesses into the ears of those who will later use them as weapons. And then they wonder why things are not working in their favor. Your words can either protect or expose you. The wrong conversation with the wrong person can place you in a storm you were never meant to endure. Some conflicts arise not because of what others have done to you, but because of what you have revealed about yourself. Some betrayals happen not because people were evil from the start, but because you gave them too much information to use against you. Silence at the right time is not a weakness, it is wisdom. It is the ability to discern who is worthy of access to your thoughts and who should remain in the dark. Powerful people are not loud, they are calculated. They do not speak everything they know, nor do they allow emotions to dictate their speech. They understand that words carry weight, that not every opinion must be voiced, and that silence can be a strategy rather than a surrender. There is a time to speak and a time to hold your peace. Mastering that balance is what separates the wise from the foolish, the successful from the struggling, and the protected from the exposed. Not everyone who listens to you deserves to know your thoughts. Some people ask questions not because they care, but because they are gathering information. They sit quietly, nodding, pretending to support you, while in their hearts they are plotting against you. And yet, so many people willingly hand over their secrets, their struggles, and their dreams to those who have no intention of protecting them. They assume that just because someone is listening, they are trustworthy. But the wrong words in the wrong ears can turn a friend into an enemy and an ally into an adversary. Silence is a test of wisdom. The ability to hold your tongue when everything in you wants to speak is a sign of maturity. Many people destroy their own progress because they feel the need to explain themselves. They want validation. They want to be understood. They want people to see their value, so they overexpose themselves, hoping for approval. But the truth is, the most powerful people are not those who speak the most. They are those who know what to keep to themselves. They do not waste words proving themselves to people who do not matter. They're battles you will never have to fight simply because you remained silent. Some attacks will never come your way because you refuse to give people ammunition. You do not need to explain your every move. You do not need to share your every thought. You do not need to seek understanding from people who were never meant to be part of your journey. The more you guard your words, the more you guard your future. The less you reveal, the stronger your position becomes. What people don't know, they can't attack. What they can't see, they can't sabotage. Sometimes the greatest power is not in what you say, but in what you refuse to say. There is a reason why the most powerful strategies are kept secret, why the greatest plans are not announced, and why the most valuable treasures are hidden. What is exposed too soon becomes vulnerable. What is spoken too early becomes a target. The most dangerous thing you can do is hand over your plans, your weaknesses, and your desires to people who do not have the capacity to protect them. Not everyone clapping for you is on your side. Not everyone who listens to you wishes you well. Some only want to know your next move so they can block it before it happens. Many people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they talk too much. They expose their next step before they take it. They reveal their struggles to those who only pretend to care. They give their ideas away for free, and then they wonder why someone else is walking in the success that should have been theirs. They share their deepest wounds with people who later use them as weapons. And when the betrayal comes, they are left broken, wondering how the enemy gained access. But the truth is, the enemy was invited through careless words. Some doors in life do not require an announcement, just action. Some victories do not need to be broadcast, just achieved. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. It keeps your enemies confused and your plans protected. It gives you time to build without unnecessary interference. It allows you to discern who is truly for you and who is only waiting to benefit from your downfall. The greatest moves are made in silence, and the loudest victories are the ones no one saw coming. If you want to secure your future, learn to control your tongue. If you want to move with power, learn to keep quiet until the time is right. What people do not know, they cannot destroy. What they cannot see, they cannot attack. The less they hear from you, the less power they have over your life. The tongue is small, but its impact is massive. It has the power to build or destroy, to open doors or close them, to bring favor or invite trouble. Many people have lost opportunities, friendships, and even their peace simply because they did not know when to remain silent. Wisdom is not just about speaking the right words. It is also about knowing when to withhold them. Every word you release carries weight, and once spoken, it cannot be taken back. Silence is not weakness, it is a shield. It protects your vision, preserves your peace, and keeps your enemies in the dark. Not everything needs to be explained. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. The most powerful people are not those who speak the loudest, but those who know what to guard. If you want to secure your future, control your tongue. If you want to move with wisdom, speak only when necessary. What remains unspoken cannot be used against you. What stays hidden cannot be sabotaged. Sometimes your greatest strength is found in the words you choose not to say. You have been given a divine identity, a purpose crafted by the Creator himself, and yet so often you find yourself seeking the validation of others to affirm who you are. But hear me, you do not need their approval to know who you are. People's opinions are fleeting and ever-changing, built on their limited understanding and often their insecurities. But you, my friend, were made for something greater, something unshakable. God does not look at you as they do. He does not see you through the lens of your past mistakes, through the eyes of your critics, or through the words of those who barely understand you. God knows the plans he has for you, and those plans are not dependent on what others think. No human approval can add to or subtract from the purpose he has placed within you. When you find yourself bound by the need for others' validation, you are allowing yourself to be limited by the world's standards, which are shallow, fickle, and temporary. You cannot fulfill a heavenly mission while looking for earthly applause. Each time you seek approval from others, you diminish the power of the Creator's voice in your life. You risk drowning out the call that only he has placed within you. You were not created to fit in. You were designed to stand out. You were called to make a difference, to bring light, to change lives, to walk a path that may not always be understood by those around you. So do not expect them to understand or approve. They are not the ones who gave you this path. Your journey is unique, tailored by God himself, and his validation is all you need. Consider this: when you know who you are in God, the opinions of others lose their weight. Criticism doesn't sting the same way. Rejection doesn't hurt as deeply because you are anchored in something greater. People may doubt you. They may question your choices. But if you hold onto your divine identity, nothing they say or think can shake you. God's purpose for you will stand regardless of whether others see it or not. So I say to you, let go of the need for human approval. Live according to the Creator's blueprint, not the shifting opinions of others. Seek his guidance, listen for his voice, and follow his direction. You are enough as you are. You have everything you need within you to fulfill your purpose because he has already equipped you. Walk confidently, knowing that the one who made you also believes in you. Remember, he has already approved of you. Your identity was crafted by God himself, who designed you with intention and precision. Every part of who you are, your gifts, your strengths, even the challenges you faced has been intricately woven together to fulfill a purpose that is unique to you. You were created in the image of the Creator, which means you carry within you a divine essence, a mark of His own nature. That essence defines you more than anything anyone could say or think about you. When God created you, He knew exactly who you would be and what He intended for you to accomplish. He did not make you to be defined by others, nor did He create you to depend on the opinions of the world to know your worth. The Creator's hand is on your life, and His plans for you are not subject to human validation. You do not need to question who you are, for you have been made with divine purpose and value. Others cannot see your whole story, nor do they know the path God has set before you. They are only witnesses to fragments of your journey, but God sees the entire picture. In His eyes, you are already whole, already worthy, and already enough. When you understand this truth, you'll find that human approval loses its importance, for you know that your true identity and worth come from the one who made you. The opinions of others are like shifting sands, unstable and unreliable. People's judgments are often colored by their own limitations, their own insecurities, and their own struggles. When someone offers their opinion about who you are or what you should be, remember that they are often projecting their own experiences, fears, and biases onto you. They are looking at you through a narrow lens, a lens that can never fully grasp the purpose God has placed within you. Seeking approval from others is a dangerous game because their views will constantly change. What they praise you for today, they might criticize tomorrow. They may applaud you in one moment and doubt you in the next, not because you have changed, but because their perception has. If you build your identity on the shifting ground of human approval, you will find yourself constantly adjusting, constantly bending, and ultimately losing sight of who you truly are. Others might see only a fraction of what God has planned for you, or perhaps they don't see it at all. They may question your choices, your vision, your calling, not because there's anything wrong with them, but simply because they cannot see what God has shown you. Their limited understanding cannot define your limitless potential. Their doubts do not have the power to override the assurance that God has already placed within you. Remember, you are not here to meet their expectations. You are here to fulfill God's purpose. Their opinions may come and go, but His word over your life remains steadfast and unchanging. God does not look at you as others do. His vision of you is complete, perfect, and filled with love and purpose. While people may judge based on surface appearances, past mistakes, or perceived weaknesses, God looks deeper. He sees the heart, the potential, the purpose that He planted within you long before anyone else had an opinion about your life. Where people might see flaws, He sees opportunities for growth. Where others may only see your struggles, God sees the strength that will emerge from them. He understands the battles you fought and knows the victories that are still ahead. People tend to box others into categories based on their limited perspectives, but God's perspective is infinite and full of grace. He sees you not as a sum of your failures or successes, but as His creation, beautifully crafted to fulfill a divine mission that goes far beyond what anyone else can comprehend. When you anchor your identity in His view of you, you begin to see yourself with the same purpose and dignity He has already bestowed upon you. You are not defined by your past, nor are you limited by your present. God sees your entire journey from beginning to end, and His understanding is complete. You do not need the world's confirmation to feel worthy or capable, because the one who knows you best has already affirmed you. You are fully known and fully loved by the Creator Himself, and His perspective is the only one that truly matters. When you seek the approval of others, you allow yourself to be guided by standards that were never meant to define you. God has placed within you a purpose that transcends human expectations, a calling that is not of this world. Yet, when you look for validation from people, you risk dimming that light, reducing yourself to fit into boxes that others have created. This world's approval is temporary, fragile, and often based on superficial criteria, while God's purpose for you is eternal and profoundly rooted in who He designed you to be. Every time you base your worth on others' opinions, you allow yourself to be shaped by ideals that can never reflect the depth of God's calling on your life. Human praise may seem reassuring, but it is not the foundation on which your purpose can be built. No earthly applause or recognition can add value to what God has already placed within you. You were created to walk a path that at times will look unconventional, misunderstood, or even opposed by others. Yet that very path is the one God has chosen for you. You cannot fulfill a heavenly mission while clinging to earthly approval. There will be moments when God's purpose for you will require courage to stand alone, to be misunderstood, even to be criticized. The mission He has given you may not align with the expectations others have for you, but it was never meant to. The greatness He has planned for you requires freedom from the limitations of human praise or judgment. When you focus on His purpose, the need for others' approval begins to fade, and you find yourself empowered to live authentically, walking the path designed specifically for you. You were not made to blend in or conform to the world around you. You were made to stand out, to be a light in the places where others may struggle to see. The purpose that God has placed in your life is unique, something only you can fulfill, and it was never intended to fit neatly within society's expectations or conform to the standards of those around you. God's calling on your life sets you apart, and that difference is intentional. You are not here to simply follow the crowd or to seek comfort in the approval of others, but to walk a path that is distinct, guided by His hand and His vision for your life. When God made you, He equipped you with everything you would need to fulfill a purpose that is bigger than what the world may understand. Standing out often means that you will face resistance, skepticism, or even judgment. But that is only because others may not fully comprehend the depth of what God is doing within you. People are often drawn to the familiar, to what they know and understand, and they may question or criticize anything that challenges those boundaries. Yet God did not create you to live within those limits. He called you to rise above them, to bring a new perspective, a new light, and a unique strength that only you can offer. Your distinctiveness is a gift, a part of God's plan that makes you uniquely suited for the journey He has set before you. When you embrace who you are in Him, you begin to walk boldly in that purpose, unafraid of the differences that set you apart. Others may try to pull you back, to hold you to standards that are not aligned with God's plan for you. But their voices are not the ones that matter. You have been called to be an example, to lead, and to impact the world in a way that may not always be understood by others. But in every step of that path, know that you are guided by a purpose that is divine, unshaken by human expectations, and empowered by the one who created you to stand out. When you place your identity in God's hands, the opinions of others lose their power over you. People will always have something to say, whether it's praise or criticism. But when your sense of self is rooted in God's truth, the fluctuations of human approval no longer determine your worth. It becomes easier to walk in confidence because you are anchored in something far more unshakable than the changing tides of public opinion. You are no longer tossed by the winds of validation or rejection because you know who you are in God, and that identity remains constant. Criticism will come and praise will come, but neither of them defines you. The approval of others may feel good in the moment, but it is often fleeting. One moment, they're applauding you, and the next, they're doubting you. If your worth depends on their applause, you will be left constantly searching, always trying to meet the next expectation or secure the next round of approval. But when your identity is firmly planted in God's view of you, you become immovable. You are not swayed by the highs and lows of what others say about you, because your confidence comes from knowing that you are already fully accepted by God just as you are. When you understand this truth, you will find that you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You do not need to gain their validation to feel worthy, because God has already validated you. His purpose for your life is enough to give you strength, direction, and confidence. You are His masterpiece, created for a purpose that no one else can fulfill, and nothing that others say or do can change that. When you walk in the assurance of this truth, you will find freedom to be yourself, to follow your calling, and to live out your purpose without fear of rejection or the need for others to agree with you. When you know who you are in God, your identity becomes unshakable. The foundation of your worth is not built on the approval of people, nor is it swayed by circumstances or the opinions of others. This assurance empowers you to remain steadfast, no matter what challenges or criticisms come your way. Others may try to discourage you, question your choices, or label you with limitations, but these voices cannot touch the truth that is deep within you, that you are created with divine purpose and a calling that is greater than anything this world can offer. When your identity is anchored in God's truth, you begin to walk with a confidence that does not rely on external factors. You are not defined by what others think or say. When you face opposition or when people misunderstand you, you can stand firm in the knowledge that your value is not determined by their perception of you. It is God who has declared your worth, and He has set you on a path that no one can alter, no matter how hard they try. This unshakable identity allows you to persevere in the face of difficulty. When you are clear about who you are, you become resilient. You no longer seek validation from those who don't understand your journey, nor do you let setbacks define your future. Your confidence isn't based on having everything go right, but on the understanding that you are already whole in God. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone because your identity is already secured in Him. It is this confidence that enables you to rise above the noise, to stay focused on your mission, and to remain faithful to the call God has placed on your life, no matter the obstacles you may encounter. When you no longer seek the approval of others, you begin to walk in a freedom that allows you to fully embrace who you were created to be. This freedom is not a license to live recklessly or without consideration for others, but a freedom to be authentic and true to your own purpose. Without the burden of constantly seeking validation, you are free to follow God's guidance for your life, even when it doesn't align with what the world expects of you. You begin to live with purpose, driven by the calling God has placed within you, not by the pressure to meet other people's expectations. Living without the need for approval means you can step into your own unique destiny. You no longer have to bend or adjust your life to make others comfortable or to meet their standards. You are not here to meet a checklist of societal expectations. You are here to fulfill a divine purpose that was designed just for you. And as you live authentically, you will attract those who align with your true self, people who see you for who you truly are, not for the version of you that others may want you to be. When you let go of the need for approval, you find yourself living with a sense of peace that transcends external circumstances. You begin to understand that the opinions of others are fleeting and unreliable, but the purpose and call of God on your life are eternal and secure. You can take risks, step out in faith, and pursue goals that may seem impossible to others because you are no longer bound by their judgment. The peace that comes with knowing you are living according to God's plan is something that cannot be disturbed by the approval or disapproval of others. You can take bold steps in your journey without hesitation, knowing that the only approval you need is the one that comes from the one who created you. As you begin to understand that your worth is not tied to others' approval, you start to take back your power. No longer do you give others the ability to control your emotions or dictate your decisions. When you live for their validation, you place your happiness in their hands, and that is a dangerous place to be. You become a prisoner of their views, constantly seeking approval to feel good about yourself, never fully embracing who you truly are. But when you realize that your identity is already settled in God's eyes, you reclaim the authority over your own life. This shift in perspective allows you to stand confidently in your decisions, free from the anxiety of judgment. You are no longer swayed by the fear of what others think because you understand that their perception of you has no power over your destiny. You don't need their permission to walk boldly in your purpose. You are not living for their applause or their praise. You are living for the fulfillment of your God-given mission. You begin to realize that their opinions, though they may seem important, are just that, opinions. They are not facts, nor are they truth. The only truth that defines your worth is the one God has spoken over you. As you embrace this truth, you begin to make choices that are aligned with your values and your purpose, not what others think you should do. You are no longer afraid to be different or misunderstood because you know that walking in your purpose might not always look conventional, but it is always right. This liberation gives you the strength to follow God's leading, no matter how it may challenge the status quo. You stop waiting for the approval of others and start living in alignment with your true identity, embracing the unique path God has set before you. When you let go of the need for approval, You are free to become the person God has truly called you to be, unburdened by the expectations of the world around you. This freedom is not just an emotional release, it is a spiritual awakening. It is when you cease striving to please others that you open yourself to the deeper purpose God has for your life. The pressure to conform or to seek validation from external sources fades, and you start to operate from a place of internal confidence that is rooted in your identity as a child of God. Living without needing others' approval also means you stop seeking shortcuts or compromises that would make your journey easier in the eyes of the world. Instead of trying to fit into boxes, you focus on the steps that align with God's plan for your life. You don't need to conform to trends, adjust to people's demands, or change who you are to gain acceptance. You stop measuring your success based on someone else's standards and begin to focus on what God has placed in your heart. This shift in mindset allows you to step into your true calling regardless of what others might think. It enables you to act with boldness and integrity, knowing that the path ahead may be challenging, but it is the one that leads to fulfillment. You no longer chase after worldly success or superficial approval because you recognize that true peace and success come from knowing you are walking in the purpose for which you were created. When you stop seeking others' approval, you begin to align yourself with the divine purpose and move toward the destiny God has designed for you, unconstrained by the limitations others may try to place on you. In the end, when you no longer seek the approval of others, you step into the fullness of who God created you to be. Your value is not dependent on human validation. It is rooted in the truth that you are uniquely crafted with a divine purpose. As you release the need to conform, you embrace the freedom to follow God's call for your life with confidence, strength, and resilience. The world will continue to offer its opinions, but they no longer have the power to shape your identity or dictate your journey. You are already approved, already chosen, and already enough in the eyes of the one who matters most. Embrace your true self, walk boldly in your purpose, and know that in doing so, you are fulfilling the highest calling of all, to live as the person God destined you to be. There are moments in life when silence is more powerful than words, and actions speak louder than the loudest accusations. Sometimes the greatest lessons you will ever teach someone are not taught through arguments or retaliation, but through the strength of your character and the grace with which you handle betrayal, disrespect, or injustice. When people wrong you, their expectation is often your collapse. They want to see you stumble, to watch you shrink beneath the weight of their actions. But what they fail to understand is that your resilience is not rooted in their opinion of you. It's anchored in a higher truth, a divine purpose that no man or woman can dismantle. By choosing not to stoop to their level, you taught them a lesson they will never forget. When they lied about you, yet you held your peace when they abandoned you, but you refused to beg for their presence when they tried to block your progress, and you rose above it all, they learned something about you. They learned that your strength is not ordinary. You see, life is not just about winning arguments or proving people wrong. It's about walking in integrity, even when no one is watching. It's about holding on to your values when the world tries to strip them from you. And it's about demonstrating that real power lies in self-control and trust in God's timing. The lesson they never forget is this: you cannot break someone who has been built by God. You cannot destroy someone whose foundation is rooted in faith, vision, and purpose. While they were busy trying to tarnish your name, you were busy fulfilling your destiny. And now, as they sit in the aftermath of their own actions, they realize the truth: they never had power over you. It is not revenge that teaches the most profound lessons. It is grace. It is not retaliation that shifts the atmosphere. It is forgiveness. When you chose not to fight fire with fire, but instead rise above their pettiness, you revealed the emptiness of their actions. And in that revelation, you became a mirror reflecting their own flaws, forcing them to confront the truth about themselves. They will never forget you, not because you argued, not because you retaliated, but because you showed them a strength they could not comprehend. You showed them a faith that could not be shaken, a peace that could not be disturbed, and a resilience that could not be defeated. Let them talk. Let them scheme. Let them try to pull you down. But remember, the greatest lesson you'll ever teach them is not in how you respond to their hatred, but in how you continue to shine despite it. You are not here to fight petty battles. You are here to fulfill a divine assignment. And that, my friend, is a lesson they will carry with them forever. There is an undeniable power in silence, a strength that transcends the noise of conflict and the chaos of retaliation. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom in its purest form. When you choose silence in the face of betrayal, disrespect, or slander, you are not conceding defeat, you are demonstrating control. Silence speaks of your understanding that not every battle requires your involvement, not every accusation demands your defense, and not every offense deserves your reaction. Those who act against you often expect an immediate response. They thrive on drama, feeding off your emotions and hoping to provoke a reaction that justifies their behavior. But when you remain silent, their plans unravel. They are left with nothing to fuel their negativity, nothing to amplify their false narratives. They are forced to sit alone with the weight of their actions, confronted by a truth they cannot escape. Your silence is not a sign of weakness, it is a mark of power. Silence is a language they do not understand. It confuses them, disarms them, and unsettles them. Your refusal to engage in the trivial battles they provoke teaches them that your time, your energy, and your focus are too valuable to be wasted on meaningless conflicts. It shows them that your strength is not found in loud arguments or heated exchanges, but in your ability to rise above the noise and walk in peace. When you choose silence, you position yourself to listen, to hear the whisper of God guiding you through the storm, to discern what truly matters and what does not. You align yourself with a higher perspective, one that sees beyond the immediate moment and understands the bigger picture. In that silence, you find clarity, and in that clarity, you discover the path forward. Silence is not the absence of a response. It is a deliberate, purposeful act of restraint. It is a statement that says, I am bigger than this moment. I am focused on something greater. I will not be drawn into the smallness of this conflict. And in that restraint, you teach them a lesson they will never forget, that your strength is not dependent on their approval, their acknowledgement, or their behavior. Your strength is rooted in something far greater, far deeper, and far more enduring. There is a profound beauty in resilience, a strength that refuses to crumble under the weight of betrayal, rejection, or injustice. People who wrong you often do so with the expectation that their actions will break you. They hope to see you falter, to witness you diminish, and to feel a sense of power in your suffering. But what they fail to understand is that true resilience is not a surface-level attribute. It is deeply rooted in purpose, faith, and the unshakable assurance of who you are and whose you are. When someone tries to hurt you, they are often operating from their own insecurities, attempting to project their inner chaos onto you. Their goal is to disrupt your peace, to make you doubt your worth, and to shift your focus away from your destiny. But your resilience tells a different story. It declares that your identity is not defined by the actions or opinions of others, but by the divine purpose that has been placed within you. Resilience is not just the ability to endure hardship, it is the ability to thrive in spite of it. When you stand firm, refusing to let their attempts shake your foundation, you send a powerful message. You are not controlled by their actions, nor are you diminished by their opinion of you. Instead, you rise above, demonstrating a strength that is not easily understood by those who seek to harm you. This resilience comes from a deeper place, one that is connected to your faith and trust in God's plan. You understand that every setback, every betrayal, and every challenge is not the end of your story, but a stepping stone to something greater. You see the bigger picture, recognizing that even in the pain, there is a purpose. This understanding allows you to stand tall, unshaken by their attempts to bring you down. Your resilience becomes a testimony, a living example of what it means to be unbreakable. It confounds those who expected you to fail and leaves them questioning the source of your strength. They come to realize that you are not like everyone else. You are not moved by temporary trials or fleeting emotions. Your strength is eternal because it is anchored in a power far greater than anything this world can offer. When you refuse to collapse, you teach them a profound lesson, that their actions do not hold the power they thought they did. They see that no matter what they do, they cannot take away your joy, your purpose, or your faith. And in that realization, they are forced to confront their own weaknesses, their own insecurities, and their own inability to shake someone who stands on the unshakable foundation of divine purpose. Integrity is a rare and powerful force, one that stands unyielding in the face of pressure, betrayal, and adversity. When you choose to walk in integrity, you are making a declaration not just to the world, but to yourself and to God that you will remain true to your values no matter the circumstances. This choice is not always easy, especially when others try to undermine you or tempt you to compromise. Yet it is in these moments that the true strength of your character is revealed. Integrity is not about seeking the approval of others or striving to fit into their expectations. It is about holding fast to what is right, even when it is inconvenient or costly. It is the quiet resolve to do what is honorable, even when no one is watching. This steadfastness sends a powerful message to those who try to manipulate or harm you. Your character is not for sale. Your principles are not negotiable. When others see you standing firm in your integrity, even in the midst of trials, it forces them to reconsider their own actions. They may have believed that by pressuring you or betraying you, they could provoke you into acting out of character or compromising your values. Instead, your unwavering commitment to what is right shines a light on their own shortcomings. It reveals the emptiness of their schemes and the futility of trying to shake someone whose foundation is built on truth. Choosing integrity is not just about refusing to retaliate or compromise. It is about demonstrating a higher standard of living. It is about showing that your values are not contingent on how others treat you, but are a reflection of the person you are striving to become. By walking in integrity, you teach those around you that true strength is not found in retaliation, but in self-control. It is not found in winning arguments, but in maintaining peace. People who try to harm you often operate from a place of insecurity or envy. They hope to drag you into their chaos to see you stoop to their level. But when you stand firm in your principles, you rise above their tactics. You become an example of what it means to live with honor, even in a world that often rewards deceit and manipulation. This is a lesson they will not forget. They will see that despite their best efforts, they could not move you from the path of integrity. They will remember how you chose to take the higher road, how you refused to let their actions dictate your response. And in doing so, you not only protect your own soul, but also plant seeds of transformation in theirs. Even if they do not admit it, your integrity leaves an indelible mark on their conscience, challenging them to reflect on their own lives and inspiring them, perhaps unknowingly, to rise to a higher standard. Your integrity is your legacy. It is what sets you apart and what makes you unforgettable. It teaches them that no matter how much they try to tear you down, they can never take away the values that define you. And in that realization, they are left with a profound respect for the strength and dignity you displayed. There is an unmatched power in knowing your purpose, in being anchored so deeply in your divine assignment that no storm, no betrayal, and no opposition can pull you off course. When you live with a clear understanding of your purpose, you are not easily shaken by the opinions, actions, or manipulations of others. You know why you are here, and you know who sent you. This clarity gives you the strength to navigate challenges with confidence, knowing that nothing and no one can derail what God has already set in motion for your life. People who seek to harm you often do so because they themselves lack purpose. Their lives are driven by fleeting emotions, insecurities, and the need to control others. They cannot understand the strength that comes from being anchored in something greater than yourself. When they attempt to undermine you, they believe their actions will distract you, destabilize you, or cause you to question your worth. What they do not realize is that your purpose acts as a compass, keeping you focused and steady even when the winds of adversity blow. Living with purpose means you see beyond the temporary. You understand that every trial, every betrayal, and every hardship has a place in the bigger picture of your life. It is not just an obstacle, it is a stepping stone. When others try to hurt you, they are unknowingly contributing to your growth and to the fulfillment of your destiny. They think they are setting you back, but in reality, they are pushing you forward, strengthening your resolve and refining your character. This understanding changes the way you respond to opposition. You no longer feel the need to defend yourself or retaliate because you know that your value and your mission do not depend on their approval. Your purpose is not tied to their opinion, and your destiny is not subject to their control. This confidence disarms those who try to bring you down. They realize that no matter what they do, they cannot reach the core of who you are because it is protected by something far greater than their schemes. When you are anchored in purpose, you also become a reflection of God's power and faithfulness. Your life becomes a testimony to the fact that when you are aligned with His will, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Those who oppose you may see you endure challenges, but they also see you rise again and again, stronger each time. This resilience is not something they can easily dismiss. It forces them to confront the reality that there is a higher power at work in your life, one that they cannot touch or diminish. Your purpose also gives you peace. Even in the midst of conflict, you remain calm because you know that your assignment is bigger than the momentary distractions others create. You are not here to fight petty battles or prove yourself to small-minded people. You are here to fulfill a mission, and that mission is too important to be derailed by the opinions or actions of others. And so as you walk in purpose, you teach them a lesson they will never forget. They see that their attempts to harm you are not only ineffective, but also irrelevant. They realize that you are not like everyone else. They cannot sway you, break you, or control you. And in witnessing your unwavering commitment to your divine assignment, they are left with a profound respect for the strength and clarity you possess. Whether they admit it or not, your focus on purpose leaves an indelible mark on their hearts, challenging them to consider their own lives and perhaps even inspiring them to seek a purpose of their own. By staying anchored in your purpose, you show them what it means to live a life of meaning, strength, and unshakable faith. You become a living example of the power that comes from aligning yourself with God's plan. And in doing so, you not only protect your own destiny, but also influence others in ways you may never fully realize. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and transformative forces in the human experience. It is not a sign of weakness or defeat. It is a demonstration of immense strength, grace, and self-control. When someone hurts you, they often expect you to hold on to anger, resentment, or a desire for revenge. They hope their actions will leave a lasting scar on your heart and weigh heavily on your spirit. But when you choose forgiveness, you defy their expectations and take control of your narrative. You send a powerful message. They may have hurt you, but they cannot own your heart or dictate your future. Forgiveness does not mean excusing what was done or allowing harmful behavior to continue. It is not a denial of the pain caused or an invitation for further mistreatment. Instead, forgiveness is a conscious decision to release yourself from the chains of bitterness and emotional bondage. It is an act of self-liberation that ensures you do not carry the burden of someone else's wrongdoing. When you forgive, you refuse to let their actions define your life. You reclaim your peace, your joy, and your ability to move forward unencumbered by the weight of anger. This choice is not just for them, it is for you. It is about protecting the purity of your spirit and ensuring that your future is not overshadowed by the darkness of your past. In forgiving, you demonstrate a higher level of living, one that is not ruled by emotions or the actions of others, but by wisdom, maturity, and divine guidance. Those who hurt you may not understand the power of forgiveness at first. They may expect you to react with hostility or to remain trapped in the pain they caused. But when you forgive, you disrupt their plans and challenge their perception of strength. They see that your power lies not in retaliation, but in your ability to rise above their actions. It forces them to confront their own behavior and in many cases feel the weight of their choices. Forgiveness is not about forgetting, it is about freeing. It allows you to let go of the hold that their actions had over you while retaining the lessons that experience taught you. When you forgive, you take control of your healing process. You show them that their attempts to harm you did not succeed in breaking you. Instead, they became a part of the story of your resilience and transformation. Moreover, forgiveness aligns you with the heart of God. It reflects His nature, for He is the ultimate example of forgiveness. When you choose to forgive, you are not only walking in His footsteps, but also inviting His healing and peace into your life. This spiritual strength becomes evident to those around you, including the very people who sought to harm you. They witness a grace they cannot comprehend, a strength they cannot replicate, and a peace they cannot disturb. By forgiving, you become a living testament to the fact that love and grace are far more powerful than hatred and revenge. You show them that their actions, no matter how painful, do not have the power to steal your joy or dictate your destiny. You demonstrate that forgiveness is not just an act, but a posture of freedom and faith. It allows you to walk forward unburdened, with your head held high and your heart unbroken. And in this, you teach them a lesson they will never forget. They see that true strength is not in fighting back, but in letting go. They come to realize that their actions could not hold you down or define your story. Through your forgiveness, you not only rise above, but also become an agent of transformation, showing them a better way and perhaps even inspiring them to seek forgiveness in their own lives. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it has the power to change the future for you and for them. Resilience is a quiet yet extraordinary force, one that becomes most visible in the face of trials and challenges. When someone seeks to harm you, their intent is often to break your spirit, to see you falter, and to leave you feeling defeated. They hope their actions will discourage you, make you doubt yourself, or cause you to abandon your goals. But when you respond with resilience, you show them a strength they never anticipated, a strength that not only withstands their attempts to harm you, but thrives in the face of adversity. Resilience is not about pretending you are unaffected by the pain. It is about acknowledging the hurt while refusing to let it define you. It is about standing firm when the storms of life rage, knowing that you are stronger than the challenges you face. Resilience is the decision to keep moving forward, even when every step feels heavy. It is the determination to rise again and again, no matter how many times life or people try to knock you down. When you embody resilience, you teach those who try to hurt you a powerful lesson. They see that their efforts to harm you have not succeeded in breaking you. Instead, they have become the very catalyst for your growth and strength. Resilience turns their attempts to bring you down into stepping stones that elevate you to greater heights. It transforms obstacles into opportunities, pain into power, and setbacks into setups for your success. Resilience is deeply rooted in faith. It is the belief that no matter how difficult the situation, you are never alone. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness, and His plans for you are greater than any scheme of those who oppose you. This divine assurance fuels your ability to persevere, to stand tall, even when the weight of the world is on your shoulders. The ones who sought to harm you cannot understand the source of your resilience. They may have expected you to crumble under pressure, to give up, or to retaliate out of anger. Instead, they witness you rise with grace, composure, and an unyielding determination. This confounds them, forcing them to confront the reality that their actions do not have the power to control your life. Resilience also has a ripple effect. It inspires others who witness your journey. They see that even in the face of betrayal, rejection, or hardship, it is possible to move forward with strength and dignity. Your resilience becomes a light in the darkness, showing others that challenges are not the end of the road, but an opportunity to grow and transform. In displaying resilience, you remind your adversaries of their own limitations. They come to see that no matter how hard they try, they cannot diminish the spirit of someone who refuses to be defeated. This realization humbles them, and it may even lead them to reflect on their own lives and actions. Your ability to rise above their attempts to harm you teaches them that true power does not come from tearing others down, but from lifting yourself up. Resilience also protects your peace. It allows you to focus on what truly matters rather than getting caught up in the negativity of others. By choosing resilience, you take control of your narrative. You decide that your story will not be one of defeat, but of triumph. You refuse to let the actions of others define your destiny or steal your joy. Through resilience, you show them a strength that is both quiet and unshakable. You demonstrate that the greatest victories are not always loud or dramatic, but are found in the steady, unwavering decision to keep going. You teach them that the human spirit, when anchored in faith and purpose, is far more powerful than any adversity they could bring your way. And in this, you leave them with a lesson they will never forget. They come to understand that their attempts to harm you did not weaken you, they strengthened you. Their efforts to bring you down only revealed the depth of your courage and the height of your character. Your resilience becomes a testament to the enduring power of faith, hope, and determination, a lesson that will remain with them long after their actions have faded into the past. Wisdom is one of the most profound weapons you can wield in life, and it often manifests most powerfully in the way you respond to adversity. When someone wrongs you or attempts to bring you down, they usually expect an emotional reaction, a response driven by anger, frustration, or revenge. They seek to provoke you, to manipulate your emotions, and to control your actions. But when you respond with wisdom, you defy their expectations and demonstrate a depth of understanding and strength that leaves a lasting impression. Wisdom is not reactionary. It takes a step back, evaluates the situation, and chooses the path that aligns with purpose and integrity. It does not waste energy on petty disputes or actions that do not contribute to growth. When you act with wisdom, you show that you are guided not by the chaos of the moment, but by a higher vision for your life. This is what confounds those who try to harm you. They realize they cannot derail someone whose actions are rooted in clarity and discernment. Wisdom teaches you to focus on what truly matters. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every offense requires a response. Wisdom allows you to discern when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to walk away. It empowers you to rise above the noise of conflict and to choose actions that reflect your values and your ultimate goals. This intentionality sends a clear message: you will not be distracted by negativity or drawn into the traps set by others. In responding with wisdom, you maintain your dignity and control. You refuse to stoop to the level of those who seek to harm you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you consider the long-term consequences of your actions. You understand that every decision you make is a reflection of who you are and the legacy you are building. This self-awareness becomes a shield protecting you from the destructive tendencies of others. Those who hurt you are often unprepared for a wise response. They anticipate retaliation, arguments, or emotional outbursts, but when you respond with calmness and foresight, you disarm them. They are forced to confront their own behavior in the light of your composure and grace. Your wisdom exposes their immaturity and highlights the futility of their actions. It teaches them that true strength is not loud or aggressive. It is measured, thoughtful, and resolute. Wisdom also allows you to learn from the experience. Instead of dwelling on the pain caused, you use it as an opportunity for growth and insight. You ask questions like, what can this teach me about myself, about others, and about life? This reflective approach not only strengthens you, but also turns a negative situation into a source of positive transformation. In doing so, you show those who wronged you that their actions cannot hinder your progress. They have, in fact, contributed to your elevation. Furthermore, wisdom fosters forgiveness, not as a concession to those who hurt you, but as a gift to yourself. It recognizes that holding on to anger or resentment only burdens your heart and clouds your path. Forgiving does not mean forgetting or condoning the behavior. It means releasing the emotional hold it has on you. Through wisdom, you free yourself from the cycle of pain and negativity, allowing yourself to focus on what truly matters: your purpose, your peace, and your journey forward. When you respond with wisdom, you also inspire others. Those who witness your response see the strength it takes to rise above conflict and act with intention. Your wisdom becomes a light that guides others, showing them that challenges are not meant to break us, but to shape us into better versions of ourselves. Even the one who sought to harm you may come to respect and admire the way you handled the situation, recognizing a maturity they had not anticipated. Through wisdom, you take control of your narrative. You show that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. Your actions become a reflection of your character and a testament to your faith and values. Wisdom allows you to keep your focus on your goals, ensuring that the negativity of others does not distract or derail you. And in this, you leave an indelible mark. Those who try to harm you are left not with a victory, but with a lesson one they will never forget. They learn that true power lies not in manipulation or conflict, but in understanding, foresight, and grace. Your wisdom becomes a mirror that forces them to confront their own shortcomings while inspiring them to strive for better. Through your actions, you teach them that wisdom is not just a strategy for handling challenges. It is a way of life, one that brings peace, purpose, and unshakable strength. Patience is one of the greatest virtues you can embody in life, especially when facing challenges or dealing with people who attempt to harm you. In a world that often demands immediate results, where emotions flare up quickly and reactions are expected instantly, patience allows you to rise above the noise and chaos. When someone hurts you or wrongs you in any way, they may expect a swift retaliation, a response fueled by anger or frustration. But when you respond with patience, you show them that you are not controlled by the immediate impulses of the moment. You show them that you understand the bigger picture and that your life, your peace, and your well-being are not subject to their actions or manipulations. Patience is the ability to endure difficult situations with calmness and composure. It's the ability to hold steady in the face of adversity, knowing that time has a way of revealing the truth and that your actions today will determine your tomorrow. When you face an offense, the natural instinct may be to fight back, to react in a way that puts the offender in their place. But patience teaches you to step back, to breathe, and to recognize that not everything requires an immediate response. It gives you the wisdom to know that your best actions come from a place of reflection and intentionality rather than impulsive emotions. By responding with patience, you teach those who have wronged you a powerful lesson. They may have expected you to react emotionally, to become upset or angry, but instead they see your ability to remain calm and composed. They see that you are not rattled by their actions. You remain focused on your own peace and the greater purpose you are living for. This patience becomes a demonstration of your inner strength. It is not the absence of emotion, but the control over it. Your patience becomes an expression of faith, of trust in the timing of life, knowing that everything happens for a reason, and that sometimes the best course of action is to allow things to unfold rather than forcing a resolution. When you have patience, you give yourself the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react hastily. It allows you to reflect on your values and your long-term goals and to ensure that your actions align with them. This prevents you from making decisions you might later regret, decisions that could have come from a place of hurt or anger. Patience enables you to see that your response to a situation is far more important than the situation itself. It helps you understand that your dignity, peace, and purpose are not defined by the circumstances, but by the way you navigate through them. Moreover, patience teaches you that life's challenges are temporary. When someone seeks to harm you, their actions may cause temporary pain, but they do not have to shape your entire experience. Patience gives you the endurance to wait for the right moment to act, to allow healing to take place, and to give yourself the time you need to gain perspective. Through patience, you show that you trust in divine timing, that you understand that things will work out as they are meant to, even if you cannot see the resolution right away. When you respond with patience, you also demonstrate grace. You show that you are willing to allow others the space to make mistakes and grow, just as you hope for yourself. Instead of rushing to judge or criticize, patience gives you the ability to observe and understand. It allows you to step into the shoes of others, to see the reasons behind their actions, and to respond with empathy rather than condemnation. This creates room for reconciliation and healing, even in the most difficult of situations. Those who have wronged you may not understand patience at first. They may try to provoke you further, hoping to get a reaction. But when you consistently respond with calm, with gentleness, and with understanding, it becomes apparent to them that they cannot control your peace. Your patience forces them to confront their own actions and reflect on the impact of their behavior. It challenges their view of power and control, showing them that true strength does not lie in provoking or dominating others, but in maintaining composure and grace no matter the circumstance. Patience is also a demonstration of self-control. It reflects your ability to resist the urge to retaliate, to respond in kind, or to seek immediate justice. Instead, you choose a higher path. You show that your strength comes not from a reaction, but from your ability to choose your response. This self-control is a reflection of your character, and it stands as a powerful example to those around you, including those who may have sought to harm you. It reveals that your peace is not something anyone can disturb without your permission. In the face of adversity, patience is not about passivity. It is about strength, wisdom, and trust. It allows you to remain steadfast, even when everything around you is trying to shake you. And when you respond with patience, you teach those who sought to harm you that their actions will not control you. You show them that you are not swayed by their negativity and that you have the power to remain grounded and focused on what truly matters. Through your patience, you send them a message they will never forget, that the greatest power lies in the ability to remain calm and composed, to trust the process, and to respond with grace no matter the situation. When you remain steadfast in your convictions, you demonstrate a profound sense of self-assurance and inner strength that cannot be easily shaken by external forces. Life will present you with countless opportunities to bend, to compromise your values, or to adjust your principles to suit the comfort of others. But the real power lies in staying true to what you believe, in holding firmly to your beliefs and values even when faced with opposition or adversity. This is what separates those who live with purpose from those who are easily swayed by the circumstances of life. In a world where trends change rapidly and people are often looking for shortcuts to success or happiness, the strength to remain steadfast in your convictions is a rare and invaluable quality. It means that you are not driven by the fleeting opinions of others or by the shifting winds of popular culture. Instead, you are anchored by something deeper, by the truth of who you are and what you stand for. When you hold fast to your convictions, you demonstrate that you understand that true success is not about external approval or momentary satisfaction. It is about maintaining integrity in the face of trials and remaining committed to your path, no matter how difficult it may seem. Remaining steadfast in your convictions also sends a powerful message to those around you. People are constantly observing your actions, whether you are aware of it or not. When they see that you are unshaken by the pressures of the world and the negative influences that may come your way, they will begin to understand the power of living with purpose. Your steadfastness becomes a beacon of hope for others, showing them that it is possible to live with integrity even when the world tries to pull you in different directions. It teaches others that standing firm in your values is not a sign of stubbornness, but of wisdom, strength, and a clear understanding of your life's mission. Furthermore, being steadfast in your convictions creates a deep sense of confidence within yourself. When you live in alignment with your values and act in ways that reflect your deepest beliefs, you feel a sense of peace and fulfillment that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. You know that you are acting with integrity, and that confidence carries with it a sense of peace that transcends any temporary hardship. This confidence is not based on what others think of you, but on the fact that you are staying true to yourself. It is rooted in the certainty that you are making decisions that reflect your authentic self, regardless of how others may react. The power of steadfastness also lies in its ability to endure. Life's challenges will test you, and the path to success is rarely without obstacles. But when you remain steadfast, you develop resilience. You learn to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward with even more determination. It teaches you that failure is not a permanent condition, but rather a stepping stone on the path to greater achievement. Those who remain steadfast in their convictions understand that setbacks are simply opportunities for growth. They see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as chances to sharpen their character and deepen their commitment to their mission. In moments of adversity, remaining steadfast in your convictions helps you to maintain focus on your long-term vision. Life will constantly try to distract you, to pull you off course, to get you to settle for less than what you deserve. But when you are clear about your values and your purpose, you are able to stay focused on the bigger picture. You refuse to be distracted by the small, temporary challenges that arise along the way. Instead, you keep your eyes fixed on your ultimate goal, knowing that your steadfastness will bring you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Those who try to harm you or manipulate you may not understand your steadfastness at first. They may attempt to undermine your beliefs, challenge your principles, or sway your decisions. But when you remain firm, they will come to see that they cannot break you. They may try to impose their will upon you, but your ability to stand firm in what you believe will leave an impression that lasts far longer than any immediate reaction. You teach them a powerful lesson that the strength of your convictions is not up for negotiation, and no one can alter your path without your consent. Remaining steadfast in your convictions also has the power to transform the way you see challenges. Instead of seeing them as threats or insurmountable problems, you begin to see them as opportunities to affirm your beliefs and to demonstrate your unwavering commitment. Challenges become moments where you prove to yourself and others that you are committed to your purpose, regardless of the difficulties you may face. This mindset shifts your perspective, allowing you to approach life's difficulties with a sense of purpose and resolve. When you stay steadfast, you also become a source of inspiration for others. Your unwavering belief in your convictions encourages those around you to do the same. It shows them that it is possible to live a life of integrity and strength, even in the face of opposition. By remaining true to yourself, you empower others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of purpose and conviction that spreads far beyond your own life. People will look to you as an example of what it means to live with integrity, to stay true to your values, and to pursue your mission with unshakable determination. Your steadfastness teaches everyone involved, especially those who wronged you, a critical lesson. They realize that they cannot break you, that their attempts to undermine you have failed. You have demonstrated that your worth, your peace, and your mission are not subject to their manipulation. By remaining steadfast in your convictions, you leave a legacy of strength, resilience, and integrity that will stay with them long after the situation has passed. You have shown them that the power to influence your life lies not in their hands, but in your own ability to remain true to who you are. The power of forgiveness cannot be underestimated, for it is in forgiveness that we truly unlock the freedom to move forward and to heal. It may seem counterintuitive why forgive someone who has wronged you, who has hurt you deeply, or who has tried to manipulate you. But let me tell you something, when you forgive, it is not just about releasing the other person from their wrongdoings. No, forgiveness is primarily about freeing yourself. It's about removing the chains of anger, bitterness, and resentment that threaten to hold you captive and to weigh you down. When you forgive, you take back control of your own peace and your own happiness. You make a powerful decision not to let someone else's actions define your emotional state or your future. Forgiveness is not a one-time act. It is a daily choice. A daily commitment to let go of the hurt and the pain that others have caused. It is not about pretending that what happened didn't matter or that you weren't affected. It is about acknowledging the pain, but choosing to rise above it, to not let it control you. It is choosing to release the negative emotions that would otherwise keep you tethered to the past. When you forgive, you give yourself permission to heal, to move forward, and to embrace the next chapter of your life without the burden of unresolved anger or resentment. Forgiveness also has the power to disarm your enemies, to take away their ability to hurt you further. When you choose to forgive someone, you take away the ammunition they would otherwise use to continue attacking you. They may have expected you to retaliate, to carry the weight of bitterness and resentment, but instead you shock them with your capacity for grace. Your forgiveness demonstrates that their actions do not have the power to determine your response or your future. You choose to move forward with strength, dignity, and peace, regardless of their behavior. In the act of forgiveness, you teach others a powerful lesson that grace is more powerful than revenge, that peace is more valuable than conflict. You show them that you are not bound by the expectations of the world to seek retribution, but that you are operating from a higher place of understanding and compassion. You demonstrate that the real power is in choosing love and kindness, even when the world would tell you that you should hate or retaliate. This is a lesson that stays with people. They may not understand it in the moment, but they will never forget it. You have taught them that there is a better way, that peace comes not through fighting, but through forgiving. Forgiveness also frees you from the destructive grip of negative emotions. Carrying anger, resentment, and bitterness is like carrying a heavy burden. It weighs you down, prevents you from seeing the beauty in the world around you, and keeps you trapped in the past. But when you forgive, you release that burden. You free yourself to embrace the present and to open yourself to the possibilities of the future. You allow yourself to experience the fullness of life without being held back by the wounds of the past. The freedom that comes with forgiveness is not just emotional, it is spiritual, mental, and physical as well. It creates room for new growth, new opportunities, and new blessings to enter your life. Moreover, forgiveness teaches you humility and understanding. When you forgive, you acknowledge that we are all human, that we all make mistakes, and that we are all in need of grace. It humbles you, for it reminds you that you too have been forgiven in countless ways throughout your life. None of us are perfect, and forgiveness allows us to recognize that we are all on a journey, learning, growing, and sometimes falling short. By forgiving others, you open yourself up to the same grace and mercy that you have received. It reminds you that forgiveness is not about excusing someone's behavior, but about giving yourself the space to heal and to continue living without the emotional baggage that comes from holding on to past offenses. When you forgive, you also teach those who have wronged you the power of redemption. They may have caused harm, but your act of forgiveness creates an opportunity for them to reflect on their actions and make amends. You open the door for them to change, to grow, and to become better individuals. You show them that it is never too late to make things right, that even in the face of wrongdoing, there is always a chance for transformation. Your forgiveness is not just a release of your own pain, but a beacon of hope for those who have hurt you. It gives them a chance to reflect on their own mistakes and to seek redemption, and it shows them that even in their imperfection, they are worthy of grace. Forgiveness is also a reflection of your emotional maturity. It takes a high level of emotional intelligence to forgive someone who has hurt you, especially when the hurt is deep and personal. It means that you are not controlled by your emotions or by the immediate desire to make the other person pay for their wrongdoings. It means that you understand that emotional growth requires letting go of grudges and choosing a path of peace over conflict. Your ability to forgive shows that you are not living in the past, but in the present moment, focused on what is best for your future. Finally, forgiveness teaches you the importance of letting go of control. When you forgive, you relinquish the need to control the actions or behavior of others. You stop trying to force people to behave in ways that meet your expectations or desires. Instead, you focus on controlling your own reactions, your own emotions, and your own peace of mind. You realize that you cannot control others, but you can control how you respond to them. Forgiveness allows you to let go of the need for retribution, freeing you from the exhausting cycle of holding onto hurt and anger. It empowers you to choose your peace over the chaos that others may try to bring into your life. By forgiving, you send a clear message, not just to the person who wronged you, but to everyone around you, that the greatest strength is found in letting go of hurt, in choosing peace, and in demonstrating grace. You teach them that the power to control your life is not in the hands of those who hurt you, but in your ability to forgive and to rise above the circumstances. Your forgiveness is a testament to your growth, your strength, and your ability to inspire others to do the same. Through this act of grace, you leave an indelible lesson, one that will not only transform your life, but also touch the lives of everyone who witnesses it. In conclusion, the lesson you teach when you forgive is not just about releasing the past, it is about empowering yourself to live freely and peacefully in the present and future. By choosing forgiveness, you break free from the chains of anger, bitterness, and resentment, and you rise to a place of strength, grace, and peace. You teach others that there is power in kindness, that grace is more potent than revenge, and that healing begins with letting go. Your decision to forgive becomes a beacon of hope and transformation, both for yourself and for those around you. In a world that often promotes retaliation and vengeance, your act of forgiveness speaks louder than any words could. You have taught them a lesson they will never forget, a lesson that will continue to resonate, inspire, and transform lives for years to come. Keep forgiving, for in your forgiveness, you unlock the true power of peace, growth, and endless possibilities. Life has a way of testing the resolve of those destined for greatness. Your journey, your scars, and your survival are living testimonies to a divine plan at work. Many people looked at your trials and assumed the worst. They saw the storms you endured, the betrayals you faced, and the nights when silence seemed louder than any word of comfort. To them, your fall seemed inevitable, but what they didn't account for was the power of God in your life. Survival is not just about making it through the storms, it's about thriving despite them. It's about rising above the ashes of what was meant to destroy you and walking boldly in the purpose for which you were created. The very fact that you're standing today is proof that the battles you face were never meant to defeat you, they were designed to refine you. You see, God does not waste pain. Every tear, every heartache, and every moment of despair was a tool in his hands, shaping you into the person you are becoming. People don't understand how you survive because they were never meant to understand. Survival with God defies logic. It's not about human strength or wisdom, it's about divine grace. When others wrote you off, God was writing your comeback. When they thought the chapter was over, God was preparing to flip the script. Your survival is shocking to them because it defies their expectations. But isn't that what God specializes in? He takes the overlooked, the underestimated, and the broken, and he makes something glorious out of them. Let them be shocked. Let them marvel. But remember, this is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving God right. He said he would never leave you nor forsake you. He said he would prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Your survival is not a story of human triumph. It's a testament to his faithfulness. So stand tall. Walk boldly. The fact that you survived is a message in itself, a message that says God's hand is on your life, that purpose cannot be destroyed by opposition, and that no weapon formed against you will prosper. Let the world be shocked, but you keep moving forward, for the best is yet to come. Your survival is not a random occurrence. It is evidence of a divine plan at work in your life. Every breath you take, every step you move forward is a testament to the intricate design God has placed upon you. People often look at the challenges you've faced and see them as insurmountable. They assume that anyone going through what you've endured would crumble under the weight. But here you are, standing firm, not because of luck, not because of your own strength, but because of the power of a divine purpose guiding you. God doesn't allow anything into your life without a reason. Even the battles that seem designed to destroy you are part of his plan to prepare you for something greater. Those difficulties didn't catch him by surprise. They were part of the process he ordained to strengthen you, refine you, and mold you into who you were meant to be. When you faced rejection, God was redirecting you. When you encountered loss, he was teaching you how to trust him. When you were at your lowest, he was planting seeds for your greatest breakthrough. Your survival is evidence that his hand is on your life. It is proof that no matter how dark the night, his light was guiding you forward. The fact that you're still here, still pressing on, shows that your purpose cannot be thwarted by human opposition or life's challenges. Others may have expected your defeat, but they underestimated the one who is behind you, the one who has already written your story. God's plan is not limited by what others see or think about you. People may have counted you out, but God was counting on you to rise above. He sees what they cannot see, the strength he placed inside you, the calling he designed you for, and the impact you are destined to make. Your survival is living proof of this divine plan, a powerful message that declares God's faithfulness and his ability to turn every situation for his glory. The storms you have faced were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to shape you. Life's challenges, the heartbreaks, the betrayals, and the moments when you felt like giving up were all part of a process to build resilience within you. You see, God uses trials to refine his chosen ones. Just as gold is purified through fire, your character, your strength, and your purpose were being forged in the heat of adversity. When the storms came, it wasn't because God abandoned you, it was because he trusted you. He knew you had the capacity to endure, even when you doubted yourself. The struggles were never about punishing you, they were about preparing you. Every hardship was teaching you something essential for the journey ahead. The loneliness taught you self-reliance. The rejection taught you to seek validation from God, not from man. The pain taught you empathy and compassion for others who would one day look to you for hope. Storms reveal what is within us. They expose our weaknesses so we can address them, and they uncover our strengths so we can use them. Without the pressure of the storm, you might never have realized how strong you truly are. It is in those moments of struggle that your faith was tested, and it is through those tests that your faith grew stronger. You didn't just survive the storms, you learned how to navigate through them, how to anchor yourself in God's promises, and how to rise above them. Others might look at your trials and see only suffering, but you know the truth. Every storm was a classroom, every challenge a lesson. God was not tearing you down, he was building you up. The winds that tried to blow you over only rooted you deeper in his purpose. The rain that tried to drown you only cleansed you of things that didn't belong in your life. Now, when you look back, you can see that the storms were not the end, they were the beginning of your transformation. You were not being destroyed, you were being prepared. People often judge your journey based on what they see on the surface. They measure your life by their own limited perspective, their understanding of strength, and their assumptions about what it takes to endure. When they saw you facing trial after trial, they didn't expect you to make it. They didn't see how you could possibly survive what was meant to break you. To them, your fall seemed inevitable, your defeat assured. But they underestimated the God who walks with you. Your survival is a mystery to those who rely on human strength and logic to navigate life. They cannot comprehend how you endured because they don't understand the unseen power sustaining you. What they don't realize is that it was never your strength that carried you, it was God's. When the weight of the world pressed on your shoulders, his hands held you up. When your path seemed impossible to walk, his spirit gave you the endurance to keep moving. People's expectations are often shaped by their own limitations. They assume that what would crush them must surely crush you. But your story is different because you are not relying on human ability. You are sustained by a divine purpose that surpasses understanding. That's why they can't figure it out, why they are shocked by your resilience. They saw the storm, but they didn't see the anchor. They saw the fire, but they didn't see the one walking with you in it. Their confusion is not your concern. Your survival is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about glorifying the God who brought you through. The shock and disbelief of others is simply a reflection of how God's power defies human logic. They thought they knew the end of your story because they only saw a small piece of the picture. What they didn't realize is that your journey was never in their hands. It has always been in God's. Let them wonder, let them be amazed. But you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you made it through. You are here today because God's plan for you is bigger than their doubts, and his purpose for you is stronger than their disbelief. What they see as survival, God sees as preparation. What they call impossible, God calls victory. Your survival is not for their understanding, it's for his glory. Every tear you've cried, every moment of pain, and every season of struggle has served a purpose far beyond what you could see in the moment. God does not waste pain. He doesn't allow challenges to come into your life without weaving them into the fabric of his divine plan. While others might see suffering as pointless or cruel, you've come to understand that God uses even the most painful experiences to shape you, teach you, and prepare you for the destiny he has laid out for you. When you felt broken, when you thought you couldn't go on, God was there gathering every shattered piece of your heart and molding it into something stronger. Those tears weren't wasted. They watered the seeds of resilience, wisdom, and compassion within you. Those nights when you cried out in despair were not moments of abandonment. They were moments of transformation. God heard every cry and saw every tear. Even when he seemed silent, he was working behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances to turn your pain into purpose. The pain you endured wasn't meant to harm you. It was meant to equip you. It taught you how to lean on God when everything else failed. It showed you that his strength is made perfect in your weakness. It reminded you that he is the source of your hope, your healing, and your restoration. Through the suffering, God was teaching you lessons that could only be learned in the valleys of life. He was refining your character, sharpening your faith, and drawing you closer to him. Others might look at your life and see only the hardships, but they don't see the miracles that were taking place in the midst of the pain. They don't see how God used the very thing that was meant to break you to strengthen you. They don't see how the loss you experienced cleared the way for something greater, or how the rejection you faced protected you from paths that would have led to destruction. Your pain was not wasted because God's love for you doesn't allow for wasted experiences. Every trial, every heartbreak, every moment of despair was turned into something valuable in his hands. The things that hurt you the most became the things that equipped you the best. What others saw as your breaking point, God used as a turning point. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are evidence of a battle fought and won with his strength. God took what was meant for harm and turned it into something that would elevate you, proving that his faithfulness is greater than any challenge you'll ever face. What others thought was the end of your story was only the beginning of a new chapter. There were moments when you felt like life had knocked you down so hard that you couldn't possibly rise again. Moments when it seemed as though the weight of the world had crushed every ounce of hope within you. But what they didn't know, and maybe even what you didn't realize at the time, was that God specializes in comebacks. When the world thought it was over, God was working behind the scenes, orchestrating a comeback that would confound everyone who doubted you. What appeared to be a defeat was just a setup for something greater. God doesn't allow you to go through the valley without equipping you for the mountain. The pain, the setbacks, the failures, they weren't the end. They were the preparation for your rise. What looked like a setback was actually a setup for the testimony that would follow. Your story is not about how hard you fell, but about how powerfully you rose. Every time you thought you were finished, God whispered, "Not yet." Every time the enemy tried to bury you, God reminded you that seeds buried in the dirt are destined to grow. And you did grow. Through the challenges, you gained strength. Through the tears, you gained wisdom. Through the battles, you gained faith. People often celebrate success without understanding the process behind it. They see the rise but ignore the struggle that preceded it. They don't know how many nights you prayed, how many times you had to muster the courage to keep going when everything in you screamed to give up. They don't know about the moments when you felt forgotten, yet held on to the promise that God had something greater in store for you. Your comeback is not just a story of survival, it's a testament to the power of God's redemption. Now, as you stand in the light of your breakthrough, let them marvel. Let them be amazed at how you rose above what was meant to bury you. Let them wonder how you overcame what seemed impossible. But you know the truth, it wasn't by your own strength, but by the hand of God. He turned your mourning into dancing, your despair into hope, and your loss into gain. Your story is not over. Your greatest days are still ahead because God's plans for you are always greater than the trials you faced. What others thought was the end was simply the foundation for the extraordinary work God is building in your life. The strength you carry today was not handed to you. It was forged through every hardship, every tear, and every moment of uncertainty. You didn't just stumble upon resilience. It was built through your refusal to give up when everything seemed against you. What others see as strength now is the result of battles fought in silence, in solitude, and in the presence of God. They see your confidence, but they don't know about the times you were on your knees crying out for help, for answers, for strength to endure just one more day. Resilience isn't something that comes overnight. It's born in the fire of adversity. It's the decision to keep moving forward when the road ahead is unclear. It's choosing to believe in God's promises when circumstances tell you otherwise. Every time you chose faith over fear, every time you refused to let pain define you, you were building the unshakable strength that sustains you now. God was there with you, not just watching, but empowering you, reminding you that His grace is sufficient and His power is made perfect in your weakness. People see you standing tall today and marvel at your strength, but they don't see the scars. They don't know the nights you spent wrestling with doubt, with fear, and with the question of whether you could take another step. They don't see the countless times you had to rebuild yourself piece by piece after life tried to tear you apart. But those scars are not signs of defeat. They are marks of victory. They are evidence that what tried to destroy you only made you stronger. Your resilience is a testimony to the God who never left your side. While others may see it as mere determination, you know it's more than that. It's a supernatural strength that comes from trusting in God's plan, even when you didn't understand it. It's the peace that allowed you to stand firm in the storm, the hope that kept you believing in a better tomorrow, and the love of God that wrapped around you when nothing else could. Now, that resilience is a light to others. It's the strength they see and wonder about. They can't figure out how you endured, how you stood back up after every fall, how you kept going when so many would have given up. But you know the answer, it wasn't just you. It was God working through you, refining you, and teaching you that true strength comes not from avoiding the storm, but from trusting Him in the midst of it. You are living proof that resilience is not just a human trait. It's a divine gift nurtured through faith, perseverance, and unwavering trust in the God who never fails. There's a reason why you're still standing when so many thought you would fall. Your survival is not random, it's intentional. God has a purpose for your life, and that purpose is greater than any trial, opposition, or setback you faced. When people wrote you off, when they whispered that you'd never make it, they weren't aware of the divine plan that was unfolding in your life. What they saw as your end, God saw as the perfect stage to demonstrate His power and glory. Purpose is the reason why you endured what others could not. It's the reason why even in your lowest moments, something inside you kept pushing forward. That something was God's calling on your life, pulling you toward the destiny He designed just for you. When God places a purpose on your life, no amount of opposition can destroy it. The enemy may try to block your path, but he cannot cancel what God has ordained. Your struggles weren't just random hardships, they were the training ground for your calling. God allowed you to walk through the fire so you would come out refined, stronger, and ready to step into the fullness of your purpose. The pain you endured wasn't wasted. It shaped you, prepared you, and positioned you for what's ahead. Every challenge you faced, every tear you cried, every door that closed was a part of God's divine strategy to get you where you need to be. People don't understand that purpose gives you resilience. It gives you focus when distractions try to pull you away. It gives you strength when life tries to weaken your resolve. It gives you hope when the situation seems hopeless. Others may have seen your challenges as setbacks, but God was using them as setups for His greater plan. He was aligning every piece of your life to fulfill His purpose for you. And here you are, standing in the midst of what was meant to destroy you, not just surviving, but thriving. Your survival is proof that God's purpose for you is unstoppable. It's not just about you, it's about what God wants to do through you. Your story, your resilience, your victory, all of it is part of a bigger picture. God has called you to inspire others, to be a light in the darkness, and to fulfill a mission that only you can accomplish. Let them marvel at your strength, but remember, it's the purpose of God that kept you going. You're not here by accident. Every step, every trial, every victory was part of His plan. And as long as you keep walking in His purpose, there's nothing and no one that can stop you. You are living proof that when God's hand is on your life, survival is not just possible, it's inevitable. Your survival has caused confusion among those who doubted you, not because they underestimated your strength, but because they couldn't comprehend the power of the God who was fighting for you. They looked at your circumstances, measured you against the odds, and concluded that you wouldn't make it. What they didn't account for was the supernatural intervention of a God who never fails His children. They saw the storms, but didn't see the shelter. They saw the battles, but didn't see the heavenly army that surrounded you. People often judge by what they can see. They see the difficulties, the obstacles, and the impossibilities, and they draw their conclusions based on human understanding. But your life is not governed by what is visible. It is orchestrated by the unseen hand of God. When others were watching you struggle, God was working behind the scenes, shifting situations, opening doors, and making a way where there seemed to be none. What confounds them the most is that the circumstances you face were meant to destroy you. The trials, the betrayals, the losses, those were things that many wouldn't have survived. Yet here you are, not just surviving, but standing stronger than ever. That is the mystery they cannot understand. How did you endure what should have broken you? How did you rise from what was meant to bury you? The answer is simple yet profound. It was never just you. It was God's grace, God's protection, and God's provision every step of the way. Every time you faced a closed door, it was God redirecting you to something better. Every time you were betrayed, it was God protecting you from relationships that couldn't go where He was taking you. Every loss you endured was making space for something greater that He had planned. But to those looking from the outside, it didn't make sense. They saw failure where God saw preparation. They saw weakness where God was building strength. Now, as they watch you thrive, they are left questioning how it's even possible. They try to piece together the logic of your survival, but they can't. Because the math of God's grace doesn't add up in human terms. What they don't realize is that God doesn't operate according to human limitations. His power is made perfect in weakness, and His plans defy human understanding. Their confusion is a testament to God's glory. Your survival, your resilience, your success, it all points back to Him. It's not about proving your doubters wrong. It's about showing the world the greatness of the God you serve. Let their questions remain unanswered, because the only explanation for your survival is the divine intervention of a God who keeps His promises. What they see as unexplainable is simply the evidence of a life carried by grace, protected by purpose, and sustained by the unfailing love of God. When you walk through your darkest moments, when everything around you seemed to be crumbling, it wasn't just your own willpower that kept you moving forward. It was the hand of God holding you up, guiding you and strengthening you. They don't know the half of what you've been through, the moments when you thought there was no way out, the days when hope felt like a distant memory. They see the strength you have now, but they don't understand the divine presence that carried you through the storms. People may look at your life today and see someone who is strong, successful, and unshaken, but they don't see the quiet battles you fought when no one was looking. They don't know the nights you cried yourself to sleep, wondering how much longer you could keep going. They don't know the times when you questioned whether it was worth it, when you felt like giving up. But God was with you through every moment of doubt, every moment of fear. He didn't just let you survive. He was shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for a future that would exceed your wildest expectations. The strength that they see now is not the product of self-reliance. No, it is the product of divine intervention, of God's power working within you to turn your pain into purpose, your hurt into healing, and your brokenness into breakthrough. The very things that were meant to bring you down were the things that God used to elevate you. He took your wounds and turned them into wisdom. He took your heartache and transformed it into a heart of compassion. And now what they see is the reflection of God's glory in your life. They may be shocked at your survival because they never saw the hand of God moving in your life the way you did. They may wonder how you are thriving despite the odds stacked against you, but the truth is, you weren't just fighting your battles alone. God was walking beside you, providing for you when it seemed like there was no provision, opening doors when they seemed sealed shut, and making a way when there was no way. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine design, and every step of the way has been guided by the hand of God. Your survival is a testimony to the faithfulness of God. It's a living, breathing example that no matter how difficult the road, no matter how fierce the battle, if God is for you, nothing can stand against you. And as others look at your life, they'll be forced to acknowledge the hand of God in it. They may not fully understand it, but they will see his fingerprints all over your survival. They will know that you are not just a survivor, but a conqueror, an overcomer, and a testimony to the greatness of God's power in your life. Your strength is his strength. Your victory is his victory. And your survival is a testimony to his unshakable faithfulness. What others see as a miraculous survival is not just about enduring, it's about the transformation that took place within you. When they look at you, they are not just seeing a person who has overcome, they are seeing someone who has been changed, elevated, and refined through the process of surviving. The reason why they are shocked is that they cannot comprehend the person standing before them today. They see the strength, the peace, the success, but they don't realize that this transformation didn't come from simply enduring the storm. It came from being changed by it. You are not the same person you were when you first faced adversity. The trials, the hardships, the pain, they did not break you. Instead, they molded you into something greater. Each struggle, each moment of uncertainty, each attack was an opportunity for you to be refined, to become more resilient, more focused, more determined. And while others might see your survival as luck, you know it's the result of your transformation, your growth as a person, and your deepened relationship with God. What they don't realize is that your journey wasn't just about getting through the hard times. It was about becoming someone who could handle the blessings and the responsibilities that are coming your way. You had to go through the fire to be purified, to be made stronger. Just like gold is refined by fire, you were refined by your challenges, emerging as something more precious and more precious and more powerful than before. The person they see today, the one who stands tall, confident, and victorious, is not the same person who entered the storm. You were changed and you were made better for it. The transformation is not just external. Yes, people see your success, they see the peace in your life, and they wonder how you did it. But the real change is on the inside. You've learned to trust more deeply, to have faith even when things don't make sense, and to rely on God's strength rather than your own. Your survival wasn't just a matter of holding on, it was a matter of growing through what you went through. You learned to depend on God more than ever before. And that faith became the very foundation of your strength. Your transformation is the evidence of God's power working in your life. What they don't understand is that your journey wasn't just a personal struggle, it was a divine purpose being fulfilled. Every obstacle you faced was shaping you, preparing you, and leading you to a place where you could handle the blessings that God had in store for you. The reason why they are shocked by your survival is because they see you as the finished product, but they didn't witness the process that led to this moment. They didn't see the battles, the prayers, the moments of doubt, the tears, or the perseverance that brought you here. You are no longer the person who first encountered hardship. You are stronger, wiser, and more equipped to face whatever comes next. The storms you survived did not just leave you standing, they left you transformed, ready for the next chapter of your life. And while others may be amazed at your strength, you know it wasn't just about surviving, it was about becoming who God intended you to be all along. Your survival is the proof that God was with you, changing you, refining you, and preparing you for the destiny He had planned. In the end, your survival is not just a testimony of strength, but of God's unwavering faithfulness. What others couldn't understand, you now know it was not your own ability, but God's power and purpose that carried you through. They see your success, they see your peace, and they marvel at how you endured, but they don't see the hand of God that sustained you every step of the way. Your journey was never just about surviving the storm. It was about being transformed through it, emerging stronger, wiser, and more equipped for the future that God has prepared for you. As they stand in awe of what God has done in your life, remember that your survival is not an end, but a beginning. It is the foundation for all that is yet to come, the proof that with God, all things are possible. The best is yet to come, and those who once doubted will soon see that your survival was only the beginning of the incredible things God is about to do through you. Keep walking in His purpose, knowing that you are unstoppable because the one who holds your future is the one who has already overcome it all. They thought you would need them. They thought their presence in your life was essential for your success, your happiness, and your journey. But here you are, standing tall, moving forward, and thriving in ways they never imagined. The truth is, people often project their insecurities and limitations onto others. They look at you and think, you can't do it without me, but they don't understand the depth of your purpose. They don't know the power that lies within you. You were never meant to rely on anyone else to fulfill your destiny. Your life was designed with a purpose that cannot be shaken by the opinions or actions of others. People may come and go, they may walk away or fail to recognize your potential, but they cannot stop the plan God has for you. You don't need their approval, their validation, or their help to walk in the fullness of your calling. Sometimes people hold on to you because they feel secure in their own position, thinking that your success depends on their involvement. But the moment you begin to realize your own strength, that's when they start to doubt. They thought you would need them to hold you up, but in reality, you were only meant to grow beyond their limitations. You were created to be independent, strong, and self-sufficient in the pursuit of your dreams. When you understand your worth, when you know the power that lies within you, you will no longer be bound by the expectations others place on you. Your greatness was never defined by their presence, their opinions, or their approval. It was always inside you. You were born for this, and God has equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. Let them think what they want. Let them believe that your success is tied to their involvement. The truth is, your success is not about what others think or what they believe you can achieve. It's about who you are in Christ. You are more than enough. You were never meant to rely on someone else to reach your destiny. They thought you needed them, but the reality is that you were always destined to soar without them. Keep moving forward. Keep pursuing your dreams, because when God is with you, there's nothing that can stand in your way. You were not created to lean on others for your strength or success. From the very beginning, your life was designed to be self-sufficient. God has placed everything you need within you to fulfill your destiny. You are equipped with unique abilities, talents, and gifts that are meant to carry you through every challenge and every opportunity that comes your way. You do not need the approval or presence of others to be who you are meant to be. The world may tell you that you can't succeed alone, that you need someone else to support you, to hold your hand, or to guide you. But the truth is, your power lies in your ability to rely on the resources God has already placed within you. There will be moments in life when others will try to convince you that you can't make it without them. They will make you feel like you need them to succeed, to feel secure, or to move forward. But don't be fooled. They do not define your worth. You are not the sum of anyone else's expectations or limitations. The moment you realize that you are fully capable of standing on your own, you unlock the true potential that lies inside of you. When you stop waiting for others to validate you, when you stop looking for someone else's hand to lift you, that's when you will truly begin to soar. You will no longer be tethered by the fear of what others think or say. God created you with a sense of purpose and autonomy. He has given you everything you need to walk this journey alone if necessary. You don't need to wait for permission to take the next step in your life. You don't need others to decide when you are ready. You were already made ready. The power of self-sufficiency lies not in doing everything alone, but in understanding that you are enough, that you have enough, and that you are fully capable of navigating your own path. It's in those moments when you stand firm in your own strength, knowing that God has equipped you with everything necessary, that you will experience the fullness of your destiny. Your success was never meant to depend on anyone else's presence. It was always designed to be about you, your abilities, your faith, and your trust in the process. Your journey is yours and yours alone, and while others may walk alongside you for a time, they are not the ones who are driving your success. You are. When you accept this, you stop seeking validation from outside forces and begin to focus on the greatness that already resides within you. You begin to understand that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to, regardless of who is there or not. People often project their own limitations, insecurities, and fears onto others, and this is one of the greatest challenges you will face on your journey to greatness. They look at you and see their own fears reflected in your ambitions, and because they cannot imagine themselves achieving what you are striving for, they assume you cannot do it without them. They see your potential, but they don't fully understand it. They see your dreams, but they don't realize the power you have to make those dreams a reality. Instead of encouraging you, they try to keep you dependent on their ideas, their validation, or their help, because in their minds, your success would somehow diminish their own. They want to believe that without them, you won't succeed. And when they try to convince you of this, it's not necessarily because they want to hold you back, but because they fear what your success might mean for them. People who have not yet recognized their own potential can often be intimidated by someone who dares to dream bigger than they have. They'll attempt to keep you where they are, in a place where you need them, because in some twisted way, that makes them feel secure. But this security is false, because their attempt to control you only limits both of you. The truth is, the reason they think you need them is because they haven't recognized the power within themselves to make it on their own either. They project their fears onto you, thinking that if they needed others to get where they are, then you must need the same. But you don't. You are not limited by the same fears that keep them stuck. You were designed to be free of those limitations. You were created to be a trailblazer, a leader, a person who charts their own course. What they fail to understand is that your journey is not dependent on them. Their role in your life is not as a crutch, but as a catalyst, or in some cases as a lesson, showing you what to do or what not to do. When you begin to recognize this, you break free from their grip. You stop trying to prove yourself to them. You stop needing their approval. You stop asking for permission. You begin to realize that your success was never tied to their presence, their thoughts, or their validation. It is tied to your own vision, your own faith, and the purpose that God placed inside of you. You can achieve far beyond what they thought possible because your path is not defined by their limitations. You are not bound by what they believe you need. You are free to soar, and once you realize this, you will no longer be held back by the projections and expectations they placed on you. Their doubts, their limitations, and their insecurities will no longer have any power over you. Your life has a divine blueprint. Before you were born, God already had a plan for you, an extraordinary plan designed specifically for your unique purpose. The world may try to tell you that your success depends on external factors, on people, on the approval of others, or on the timing of circumstances, but the truth is that nothing can derail the plan God has for you. When you were created, God placed within you the necessary tools, strength, wisdom, and resilience to fulfill your destiny. Your journey, your purpose, your success is tied to the will of God, and nothing can stop it. What you may not always realize is that everything you need to walk into your future was already placed inside you when you were formed. The gifts, the talents, the wisdom, and even the struggles that you face were carefully chosen by God to equip you for what lies ahead. God has already seen your tomorrow, and He has already prepared the way for you. His plan for you is greater than anything anyone can try to impose upon you. When you place your trust in God's plan, you can walk confidently, knowing that even when the world tells you you're not ready or you need someone else, God has already made you more than enough. God's plan does not depend on the people who surround you. It does not rely on their validation, nor does it require their approval. In fact, many times God's plan will require you to stand alone, to move forward, even when others doubt you, even when they think you need them. You see, God works best when we are fully reliant on Him, when we recognize that He is our source and that everything we need comes from Him. When you understand that your success is not a matter of what others think of you, but a matter of trusting God, you begin to walk with a confidence that cannot be shaken by anyone's opinion. There are going to be people in your life who will try to convince you that your success depends on them. They might make you feel like you owe them something, that you can't achieve anything without them by your side. But you must remember that they are not the source of your success. God is. You were never meant to depend on anyone else to fulfill your purpose. They can help you along the way, but they are not the foundation of your success. The foundation is your trust in God and His plan for you. When you rely on God's plan, you are free from the limitations that others may try to place on you. You are free to move forward, to dream big, and to take bold steps toward your purpose. You can trust that He will provide everything you need at the right time, in the right way. His timing is perfect, and He will never leave you to figure it out on your own. His hand is on your life, guiding you through every obstacle, strengthening you in every challenge, and leading you to the fulfillment of your destiny. You do not need anyone's approval to walk in the fullness of God's plan. You do not need anyone to tell you that you are ready, that you are capable, or that you are worthy. God has already declared that you are worthy, you are capable, and you are equipped. And when you begin to walk in the truth of that, when you begin to move forward knowing that God's plan is unfolding in your life, you will experience a peace and confidence that no one can take away from you. No person, no situation, no challenge, no setback can ever alter the divine plan that God has for you. It was written before you even took your first breath, and it is going to unfold exactly as it was meant to, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says. When you understand your own worth, when you recognize the immense potential that resides within you, something powerful happens. You stop seeking validation from others because you realize that everything you need to succeed is already inside you. The world may try to convince you that you need others to validate your existence, to confirm your worth, or to tell you that you are enough. But the truth is, your worth was never dependent on anyone's approval. You were born with value, with purpose, and with greatness that no one can define but you. The moment you stop looking outside for confirmation is the moment you begin to tap into the power within you. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval, to want others to tell you that you're doing well, that you're on the right track, or that your dreams are worthy of pursuit. But when you depend on others for that validation, you're giving them control over your emotions and decisions. You're giving away your power, and in doing so, you undermine your own confidence and trust in your own abilities. You are not here to live for others' approval. Your life is not a performance to be judged by the opinions of those around you. The success you achieve, the dreams you fulfill, and the legacy you leave behind are not meant to be measured by how well you meet other people's expectations. They are meant to be measured by how closely you align with the purpose God has set for you. When you understand this, you stop seeking external validation and begin to trust your own inner compass, your own vision, and the guidance you receive from within. It is only when you recognize your intrinsic worth that you will stop letting the judgments or doubts of others affect your progress. The world is full of people who will try to tell you that you aren't enough, that you can't do it, or that you need them to make it happen. But none of that matters when you realize that your worth is not contingent upon their beliefs. Your value is already established, and it doesn't fluctuate based on someone else's opinion of you. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, equipped with all that you need to succeed and designed for greatness. Once you accept that you are enough just as you are, you will stop looking for external sources of confidence and begin drawing it from within. The dreams you carry, the vision you have for your life, and the purpose you are walking toward, these are all yours to pursue, and they are not subject to the approval of anyone else. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. The only permission you need is your own. And when you give yourself permission to believe in your own abilities, to trust in your purpose, and to move forward with unwavering confidence, you will begin to see doors open, opportunities unfold, and your destiny takes shape in ways you never imagined. You do not need someone else's validation to know that you are capable. When you understand that your greatness is already embedded within you, you stop looking for external sources to validate what you already know. The truth of who you are and what you are capable of is already established, and no one can take that away from you. You are not defined by what others think or say. You are defined by your potential, your purpose, and the strength that God has given you to fulfill it. Once you realize this, you will walk through life with a sense of purpose, confidence, and direction that cannot be shaken by anyone's opinions or judgments. The world may try to make you believe that your value is tied to the people around you, to the relationships you have, or to the connections you build. There are always going to be voices that tell you that you cannot make it without the help of others, that your success depends on having the right people in your corner. These voices, whether external or internal, may attempt to make you feel that you need to depend on others to reach your goals or fulfill your purpose. But the truth is, you are never alone in this journey, and the people around you do not define your capacity to succeed. Your potential lies within you, and that's all you need to move forward. There are moments when people come into your life and they play a significant role for a time. They offer you support, encouragement, and wisdom, and for a moment it feels as though your success is inextricably linked to their presence. But here's the reality: while people may come and go, while circumstances may shift, your purpose and your ability to achieve greatness are not dependent on anyone's presence. They may have provided help when you needed it, but they were not the source of your success. They were merely instruments that helped you along the way. And the day will come when you will realize that your true source, your true power, was never in anyone else, but in the gifts, abilities, and talents God has placed in you. There may even be times when people who once helped you or believed in you begin to walk away, to move on to their own lives, or to doubt your ability. In those moments, it can be easy to feel abandoned or uncertain. You might begin to question whether you can still move forward without them, whether your dreams can still come true without their support. But that's when you must remember the truth: God has not left you without the tools you need. He has given you everything you need to fulfill your purpose. The people who walk away are not the ones who determine your future. The strength, vision, and determination to continue on the path were always within you. When you stop relying on others to define your success, you begin to realize that you have everything you need right now to take the next step. You have the resilience to keep going even when you feel alone. You have the intelligence to find creative solutions to challenges, the wisdom to know when to move forward and when to wait, and the courage to take the steps necessary to create the life you desire. Your success doesn't hinge on having the right people at the right time. It depends on your ability to trust in God's plan and to believe in the abilities He has already given you. You see, there will always be people who come into your life at different points, some who are meant to be there for the long haul and others who are only passing through. But you must never let your worth or your dreams be defined by the presence or absence of others. The moment you do that, you relinquish your own power and let someone else dictate your path. Instead, recognize that your journey is your own. No one can take away the purpose that God has placed inside of you. No one can stop you from achieving your dreams unless you let them. By releasing the belief that your success is dependent on others, you begin to take control of your own destiny. You start to understand that the support of others is a blessing, but not a necessity. It's a nice addition to your life, but not the foundation upon which your success is built. Your foundation is built on the belief in yourself, your purpose, and your trust in God's plan for your life. When you accept this truth, you start to realize that your journey was never about who you had with you, but about who you are and what you carry within you. And with that understanding, you can face any challenge and continue to move forward, knowing that you are never truly alone. There will always be those who question your ability to succeed, who doubt your potential, and who try to make you feel that you cannot achieve greatness without their help or approval. These voices, whether from loved ones, colleagues, or even strangers, can create confusion in your mind. They may lead you to believe that you are not enough on your own, that you are incapable of standing tall without their support or recognition. But here's the key truth: the very people who doubt you The very people who say you need them are often the same people who are unaware of the power that lies within you. It's important to recognize that their doubts are not a reflection of your capabilities, but a reflection of their own limitations. You see, when people are unsure of their own power or are afraid of what others can accomplish, they often project that fear onto you. They don't know how to see beyond their own limitations, and so they try to impose those limitations on you. They may say, you can't do it without me, or you'll never succeed without my help, but those words are simply a reflection of their own fear and not a true reflection of your potential. The truth is that your journey was never meant to be fully understood by others. Your path is unique, and the purpose you carry is something that only you can fully comprehend. While others may not see the greatness within you, that doesn't mean it's not there. In fact, the greatest accomplishments in history were often achieved by individuals who had to stand alone, who had to walk a path that others could not understand. And yet they succeeded not because they had the approval of others, but because they believed in themselves and in the power of their purpose. When others tell you that you need them, they are forgetting the most important aspect of your journey, your relationship with God. God has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. Your strength, your wisdom, your talent, these were all given to you by the Creator. You were never meant to rely on others to validate your path. The only approval you need is God's approval, and He has already given it to you. He has already declared that you are enough. He has already placed everything inside of you that you need to fulfill your purpose. In those moments when others tell you that you can't make it without them, stand firm in the truth that you can. You do not need anyone's approval to move forward. You do not need anyone's validation to accomplish your dreams. You were created to succeed, and no one else can take that away from you. They can help you along the way. They can provide guidance or support, but they cannot define your worth, nor can they determine the outcome of your life. Only you and God have the power to do that. So when the world tells you that you need someone else to succeed, reject that lie. Stand on the truth that everything you need is already within you. Trust in your own abilities, trust in God's guidance, and move forward with the confidence that you are equipped to achieve all that you were created to do. The opinions of others cannot hold you back unless you allow them to. You are more than capable of reaching your goals, regardless of who is standing with you or against you. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue your dreams. You have everything you need within you to make it happen. Keep moving forward with that certainty and watch how your life unfolds in ways that will surprise even the doubters. People may walk away because they no longer align with your vision or because they can't see the potential within you. They may walk away because they fulfilled their purpose in your life, even if that purpose was just to bring you to the point where you realize that you don't need them to achieve what you're capable of. When others walk away, they may have been holding you back intentionally or unintentionally from stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. Their absence creates space for you to grow, for you to rise, and for you to see the path that God has been laying before you all along. Often people will leave because they cannot handle your growth. They cannot handle the changes that come as you begin to realize your own potential and start living at a higher level. As you elevate, some people will become uncomfortable because they are not ready to grow with you. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the place where you are going. Some people are meant to be part of your story for only a season, and once that season has passed, they have to leave for you to continue forward. If they had stayed, they may have become a hindrance to your progress, and so in the wisdom of God, they are removed. Their departure is a sign that you are ready to move to the next level. There's also the reality that sometimes people leave because they do not believe in your vision, your purpose, or your ability to succeed. Their doubts and fears about you may start to influence your own confidence, and by removing themselves from your life, they are forcing you to rely on something much stronger, your own faith. You see, your vision doesn't need the approval of others to come to pass. It's God's vision for you. And if He's placed it in your heart, it's destined to happen regardless of who stays or who walks away. People may walk away because they cannot see your future the way you can. But that's not your problem. The problem is theirs. The opportunity is yours. When people walk away, don't view it as a loss, but as a blessing. They were never the source of your strength, and they were never the ones who were truly sustaining you. God has always been your source, and He's the one who will carry you through. When one door closes, another opens, and often the people who leave your life make way for new people to come in, people who will support you, encourage you, and be aligned with the person you are becoming. Sometimes the right people can't enter your life until the wrong ones leave. Understand that when people leave, they are doing you a favor, whether they know it or not. They are giving you the opportunity to realize your true power and to step fully into your potential. Their absence allows you to become the person you were always meant to be. It's not always easy, and it may hurt for a time, but the growth that comes from these experiences will propel you forward in ways you cannot yet imagine. The space they leave will be filled with the right people, opportunities, and blessings that will help you fulfill your purpose in ways you never thought possible. There will always be moments when others begin to question your path, your decisions, and your dreams. It can be difficult when people you care about, people who you thought were your supporters, begin to doubt you or even try to convince you that your dreams are too big or unrealistic. They may tell you that your vision is too grand, that you should settle for something more practical or realistic. They may attempt to place limits on you based on their own fears or insecurities. But here's the powerful truth you need to embrace. What they see as too big is actually a sign that you are on the right track. When others tell you that your vision is too big, too far-reaching, or beyond your capacity, they are not seeing your potential. They are seeing their own limitations projected onto you. They are telling you what they would do in your shoes, not what you are capable of. They are limited by their own thinking, but you are not. Your vision is not limited by their perspective or understanding. It's limited only by the faith you place in it and the courage you have to pursue it. The fact that others can't see your dream clearly doesn't mean it's not possible. It means that your vision is so far beyond their capacity to comprehend that they can't fathom how it could come to pass. You see, when God places a dream in your heart, it's often so big, so extraordinary, that it will challenge every belief and comfort zone of those around you. And that's exactly how you know it's from God. When your vision is so big that it seems impossible to the human mind, that's when you know you're about to step into something extraordinary. God does not place small, easy dreams in your heart. He places visions that will require all of your faith, all of your courage, and all of your trust in Him. But here's the key. When people tell you that your vision is too big, don't shrink it. Don't make it smaller to make them comfortable. Don't lower the standard of your dream just to get approval from others. If you begin to doubt your vision because of what others say, you'll miss the opportunity to see God move in ways that will astonish you. If you begin to downsize your dream to fit into someone else's box, you'll rob yourself of the very breakthrough that was meant to catapult you into your destiny. Instead, take their doubts as fuel for your faith. When others tell you that you can't achieve what you see in your heart, let it remind you that the dream is not about you. It's about fulfilling a purpose far greater than yourself. The bigger the dream, the greater the glory that will be revealed through it. When you trust in God and believe that His plans for you are beyond anything you can imagine, the opinions of others no longer matter. Your vision is not limited by their understanding, nor should it be shaped by their doubts. Your vision is as big as God has made it, and your job is to walk in faith, trusting that He will bring it to fruition. The people who tell you that your dream is too big often lack the courage to chase their own dreams. They haven't seen what you've seen in your heart, and they can't feel the stirring that God has placed in you to step into your purpose. They may try to discourage you, but in reality, they are simply projecting their own fears and limitations onto you. When this happens, remind yourself that your path is different. You are not meant to walk in the same way as everyone else. The dream you carry is uniquely yours, and no one else can fully understand it or fully believe in it until it comes to pass. Your dream is not bound by what others see as possible. It's bound by your faith and your willingness to step forward, even when others doubt you. If you keep moving forward, step by step, trusting in the process and in God's timing, you will see that what others thought was impossible will become your reality. So when they say it's too big, remind yourself that it's not about their approval. It's about the faith you place in God's plan for your life. When they tell you it's too much, know that it's just right, because the bigger the dream, the bigger the God who will bring it to life. Keep moving forward in confidence, knowing that nothing is too big when God is leading you. Keep your eyes on the vision and never let anyone's limitations dictate the size of your dream. It's time to dream bigger, believe deeper, and trust more fully than ever before. Your vision is not too big. It's exactly as it should be. And with God, nothing is impossible. There is a tremendous truth in realizing that not everyone is meant to understand you or walk alongside you as you pursue your dreams. There will be people who, because of their own limitations, cannot comprehend the direction you're headed, and that's okay. The journey you are on is not for everyone. It's not for those who are stuck in comfort or for those who are too afraid to leave behind what is familiar. It's for those who have been called to do something extraordinary, those who dare to believe that there is more to life than what they have been told is possible. When people fail to understand your journey, it can be frustrating. You may feel misunderstood, even rejected. You may be tempted to explain yourself over and over again, hoping that they will finally see what you see, that they will understand the dreams that you carry. But here's the truth: you don't need anyone else to validate your purpose. If God has placed a vision in your heart, that vision does not require the approval or understanding of others. It requires your faith and commitment to pursue it, regardless of who believes in it or not. The truth is, your journey was never meant to be understood by everyone. If it were, it would not require as much faith and determination. The road you are walking is one that will stretch you, challenge you, and at times even isolate you. But it is in this isolation that you will discover the strength, the resilience, and the power that has always been inside you. The more others fail to understand, the clearer it becomes that your path is unique and it is uniquely yours to walk. The less people understand your journey, the more you will realize that it is leading you to a place they cannot go. Their inability to understand is not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of their limited perception of what is possible. Your life is not a reflection of what others have planned for you. It's a reflection of the dreams and purposes that God has placed within you. And the people who truly matter, the ones who are meant to walk alongside you in this season of your life, will not only understand your journey, but will support you through every challenge, every setback, and every victory. These are the people who see your potential even when you don't see it yourself. They see what you're capable of becoming, even when it feels like you're still in the process of becoming it. For those who don't understand, don't waste your time trying to explain. Instead, keep moving forward, for there is a greater understanding waiting for you at the end of the journey. The people who cannot see where you're headed will soon realize, once you get there, that they missed the opportunity to join you on a path that was destined for greatness. And when you reach that place, you will look back and be grateful that not everyone understood. Their lack of understanding allowed you to remain focused, to stay true to your vision, and to continue walking even when the world told you to stop. It's important to recognize that not everyone is meant to share in your success. Some people are meant to watch you succeed, and in doing so, they will either be inspired to chase their own dreams or they will remain in their own comfort zones. Some people will watch you rise and begin to question their own lives, but their questions are not your concern. The only thing you need to focus on is keeping your eyes on the prize and walking the path that has been set before you. People may not understand your journey now, but eventually they will. When you reach your goals and fulfill the dreams that others thought were impossible, their lack of understanding will no longer matter. What will matter is that you believed in yourself when no one else did. You didn't wait for others to understand you. You kept moving, and in doing so, you proved to yourself and the world that what is impossible for man is possible with God. So let them doubt. Let them question. Let them walk away, because they can't see your future. Keep pressing forward, because those who understand the magnitude of what you are carrying will eventually find their way into your life. And when they do, they will be the ones who will help you reach heights you never imagined. Keep walking, keep believing, keep moving forward, because the understanding of others will come in time. Your journey is meant for greatness, and it does not require the approval of anyone but you and God. There will be moments in your life when people may seem to disregard your value, when they may act as though you are insignificant or irrelevant to their plans. It may feel as if they've dismissed you, overlooked you, or even taken you for granted. They may have used you for their own benefit, thinking you would always be there to support them, to help them, or to serve their needs. But here's the powerful truth: people may not always recognize your worth, but that does not define who you are. It does not diminish your value, and it certainly doesn't dictate the path that God has laid out for you. You see, many people will look at you and only see what they can get from you, whether it's your time, your energy, your resources, or your loyalty. They may take advantage of your kindness, thinking that because you are always there for them, you will continue to be. But there comes a point when you must realize that their actions are a reflection of them, not of you. It is not a reflection of your worth, but of their inability to truly appreciate what you bring to the table. When people believe that you are always going to be there, they can sometimes take you for granted. They think that they can walk all over you because you will never leave. They fail to see the strength within you, the purpose that God has placed in your life, and the value that you bring. They underestimate you not because you are weak, but because they are so accustomed to your loyalty, your generosity, and your unshakable support. But the moment comes when you realize that you cannot keep pouring into people who are not valuing what you have to offer. You cannot continue to give to people who only take from you without ever giving back. And when that moment comes, when you choose to stop giving to those who are draining you without appreciation, it is not a reflection of your character, it is a reflection of your self-worth. You have to protect your energy, your time, and your resources. The people who truly value you will not take you for granted. They will cherish you, respect you, and reciprocate the love, support, and encouragement that you give them. They will not use you for their gain. They will elevate you to places of success, just as you do for them. The truth is, there is a time for everything. There is a time for giving and a time for stepping back. If you continue to pour into people who are only interested in taking, eventually you will burn out. You will find yourself drained, tired, and unfulfilled, and in the process you may begin to question your own value. But do not mistake their inability to recognize your worth for the truth of who you are. The reality is that when people underestimate you or take you for granted, it can often be a sign that you are too valuable for the spaces they occupy in your life. It is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It is a signal that it's time to move forward, to walk away from situations where you are being used, and to stop tolerating behavior that does not honor your value. It is time to reclaim your worth and to step into spaces where people see you for who you truly are. Sometimes the most empowering thing you can do is let people see your absence. Let them feel the impact of losing someone who always gave, who always believed, and who always supported. When you step away from toxic relationships, from draining situations, and from people who never truly appreciated you, you make space for new people who will see your value, who will celebrate your greatness, and who will treat you with the respect and admiration you deserve. They may have thought that you would always be there, that you would always need them, but in reality, they are the ones who will eventually see the cost of underestimating you. They will see that your absence has created a void they cannot fill. And in that moment, they will realize just how much they took you for granted. But by then, you will already be moving forward, stepping into the life that God has destined for you, surrounded by those who see your value, and thriving in the spaces where your greatness is recognized and celebrated.